there ain't no future in British steel. No, the only thing that really makes us smile is a joke and a laugh and a night on the tiles. Be somebody, be somebody, be somebody, be somebody, be somebody, be
Good evening. A wintry night at Anfield, but tonight's FA Cup third-round replay against Reading goes ahead, and Liverpool, desperate to salvage any kind of glory from this season, are mighty glad to have a second chance against a Reading side who almost finished them off at the Madejski Stadium 11 days ago.
Not a ticket to be had for this one. The return of the big boys to Reading. Both of these teams need to put some smiles back on supporters' faces.
I think it was a cup game, difficult.
It'll come for and goal, just wide. Liverpool aren't quite right. Reading take the lead. More set-piece misery for Liverpool.
This competition has added importance now for Rafa Benitez.
Torres! And he usually buries those. Liverpool have moved up again. Called it to Dirk Counter, let it go, it's in!
For us, always has been an important trophy.
Torres! It's over. Not an exit for Liverpool. Another chance for Reading.
And that was a performance that left a struggling Reading side full of new confidence and eager for this replay tonight. Their fans haven't had the easiest of journeys here, but like their team, they're ready for the challenge of Anfield. Rafa Benitez says there'll be no complacency about Liverpool tonight. There's nothing complacent about his team selection. Cavalieri takes over in goal from Reina, who's got a slight knock, but Gerrard and Torres are there to provide the inspiration. And there's another start for Aquilani in that Liverpool midfield. Neither side have played since they met last. Reading with the same lineup that fought out that 1-1 draw, including goalscorer Simon Church and the outstanding Joby McAnuff. Another strong Reading performance tonight, and caretaker manager Brian McDermott could well be getting the job full-time. Well, Steve Coppell was the manager who showed what could be achieved at Reading, and he's our guest again alongside Andy Townsend tonight. Steve, Reading with nothing to lose, it makes them dangerous here at Anfield.
Yeah, very much so. I think Liverpool, it's a massive game for them for so many reasons, but Reading come here big underdogs. I think 9-1 in the bookmakers this morning. They can come here, forget about all the league woes and really express themselves and have a go. Upsets happen in the Cup, why shouldn't it happen here?
What exactly were Liverpool missing at the Madejski Stadium?
Well, a spark, an edge, something which puts you on the edge of your seat. I think it was almost a run-of-the-mill performance, and I'm sure Rafa will be stressing, you know, they have to work hard, treat their opponents with respect, but their real quality in the Torres and Gerrard have got to shine tonight. You know, he's been looking for a big performance and into the next round. And
they look vulnerable at set pieces, vulnerable to those high balls into the box. Not a good night to have a second-choice goalkeeper out there.
Well, no, and I would like to think that the Reading boys are going to be testing him as often as they can. It's a very fast surface out there tonight, so anything hit from any sort of distance is going to give him something to think about. He's only played in the less significant games for Liverpool so far, Carling Cup ties, and I think the Champions League game at the end of the group when it didn't matter. But yeah, look, make him work. Let's have a look at him. Give him something to think about early on.
And a big performance from Aquilani would be appreciated by the Kop crowd, wouldn't it?
It will. I think we're all eager to see exactly, you know, what he's going to bring to the table, Steve, because it's been tough for him. It's not his fault that the club paid 20 million quid for him, but that's just added to the expectation and the pressure on him because he's been out injured. I think in Mascherano, Alonso and Gerrard, Liverpool had the best three anywhere. I think this guy now has got to somehow try and show that he can pick up where Alonso left off, and added with Gerrard and Mascherano when he's playing as well. They've got to get that back because they're certainly missing in that area.
And from the Reading point of view, maybe another big game from Joby McAnuff. He gave Insua such a difficult time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was a real cutting edge all night long. He was running at Insua. Insua looks a little bit lumpy on occasions, not the quickest. And McAnuff, his pace is electric. And if he could provide some ammunition for Raziak and Church, they're well capable of scoring goals.
Well, Reading certainly have got the potential tonight. A home tie against Burnley awaits the winners in the 4th round. It's just about 10 minutes till kick-off here at Anfield. We'll hear from Rafa Benitez after the break, and he's been able to welcome an important new signing. Maxi Rodriguez was unveiled to the Anfield crowd a short time ago. The FA Cup is Liverpool's only chance of domestic success this season, and for Rafa Benitez, tonight's replay against Championship Reading will have uncomfortable echoes of the upsets he suffered against Burnley and Barnsley and that near embarrassment against Havant Waterlooville. Rafa's been talking with Gabriel Clark.
Rafa, Steven Gerrard says you're still lucky to be in the FA Cup. Is he right?
I don't think so. I think that it was a difficult game. We had our chances, they had their chances, and then we are now here. So hopefully we can do a little bit better, and it will be the next game.
Well, what needs to improve in particular from your team tonight?
We have to work hard because they were working very hard, and if we can work hard, I think that we have enough quality, and then we can be maybe more precise in the final third.
Well, you talk about being precise in the final third, having more quality. Are we ready? Are you ready to see the real Alberto Aquilani now?
I think so. I think that we have some players that they are doing well in the training session, so Alberto is one of these players, and hopefully we will see his quality.
Maxi Rodriguez, signed and sealed. Happy?
Yeah, really happy because you know that was our target, and then we're working hard.
More to come? More to come? Signings wise?
We are working hard. We were working hard with Maxi, and then hopefully we will be working hard today in the training in the pitch, right?
Good luck. Thanks, Rafa.
Thank you very much. Try it.
He responds to that question with just a smile. But should there be more to come?
I think the Liverpool fans would like to think so. I mean, certainly they're chasing at the moment, and they've some ground to make up. And the more quality they can add to the squad, it's obvious it's going to do them the power of good. And I think you have to look at the key players, Torres and Gerrard. All of these new signings, Steve, they inspire them. They stimulate them a little bit more. I think the better players at the club need to see top draw players coming in.
Steve Coppell, we associate you with Reading, with Manchester United, but it was at Anfield that you first experienced the game as a young fan.
Yeah, very much. And I think there is an expectation of Liverpool teams. It's not just about winning, but there is a Liverpool way of playing. And I'm sure Rafa is trying to get as deep a squad as possible. And when you look at some of the other teams at the top end of the table, you do need real strength in depth. You need quality cover. You know, again, I think, you know, I would ask the question maybe with Torres and Gerrard, you know, where is plan B? Where is somebody who's going to come in and fill that void should any of those two key players be injured?
Well, that's it. Is there now a simple plan to stop Liverpool? If you stop Gerrard, you stop Liverpool.
Well, it sounds simple, doesn't it? But, you know, when he's got the bit between his teeth, he is just outstanding, and he's exceptional and so difficult to mark and stop being an influence. And he's a proud Scouser, you know. You got to remember that him and Carragher are the Scousers, and they wear the hearts on the sleeve, and they show that in the way they play, certainly here at Anfield.
And did you feel too much is revolving around Steven Gerrard at the moment?
No, I think he's the sort of guy now that thrives on the responsibility. I just think his body language this year, I think just when I've watched him playing, it hasn't been what he has been in previous seasons, and I think he's been weighed down a little bit this year by the inadequacies of the team, the disappointment of losing top players in and around him, and I think seeing others gaining ground on him, the likes of Tottenham, the likes of Man City, other teams motoring past him, it frustrates top players. So I think that he'll be delighted with Maxi Rodriguez coming in, but he'll welcome a lot more like it.
Steve, if you were still Reading manager, how would you want your players to respond to this tonight?
Well, you look at the first 10-15 minutes, it's always important in any game, but certainly coming here to what is a fabulous theatre for football, you know, they really have to show a strong front in the first 10-15 minutes.
So for Reading, walking out at Anfield is a reward for a magnificent performance 11 days ago, and it's also an opportunity. They know they can make life even more uncomfortable for Liverpool this evening. It's the kick-off here at Anfield when we return. The FA Cup, sponsored by E.ON, can Reading provide us with the second significant upset of this third round? Liverpool against Reading, third round replay. Commentators Jim Beglin and Peter Drury.
Thank you, Steve. Mid-winter break. Well, these two, like most others, have had one. No one here has played since third round weekend, by comparison with which 5 changes for Liverpool. Diego Cavalieri in goal. Reina has a minor knock. Philip Deggan on FA Cup debut at fullback. Daniel Agger fit again at centre-half, Yossi Benayoun restored in midfield, and yes, a precious start, his first in this competition for Alberto Aquilani. Now, Reading haven't played any better this season than they did 11 days ago, so no complication in their selection. It's the same 11 men as in the original game. Federici's okay to come back in goal. Brynjar Goodison continues at full-back. Referee's Phil Dowd, last in charge for a cup tie here when Havant and Waterlooville came and charmed the nation a couple of years ago. Childhood memories of the FA Cup, snow on the way to the game, dark, cold, floodlit replay nights, just like this. It is all here for the cup nostalgist. 38 teams left in the competition, only 4 Premier League teams out of the competition. Liverpool flirted rather nastily with an early exit in Berkshire. Reading so excelled that night, and they're entitled to believe in their chances of turning an awkward journey into something very worthwhile. Have they, the underdogs, had their day, Jim Beglin, or indeed could this be their day?
Well, I think it all depends on Liverpool, Peter. I've no doubt Reading will be as spirited and hard-working as they were 11 days ago, but Liverpool need better possession and they need to be much more productive with it, and if that's the case, maybe Reading, have missed their best chance. But Reading were very good with deliveries in the first leg, the original game. We'll see again.
In by Goodison, and out on his return to the first 11 by Daniel Agger, whose return is certainly pertinent in toughening up the back line. Martin Skirtle doesn't make the starting side tonight. There's also a change at full-back with Philip Degan's return for Stephen Darby, who actually did okay down at Reading, but steps out of the limelight for this game. And here is Church, the hero of the hour. Came out to Torres, and now Liverpool can break with Gerrard. Faced by Karachan. Support from Aquilani. Rolled in towards Benayoun and rolled out by Mills. By Sigurdsson. Carragher was close to Church. And Phil Dowd has invited Matt Mills over for a word here. On what subject? Your guess is as good as mine.
Something said? No, I was just a little late on Torres. Yeah, that was the earlier one.
He's a hefty individual, 6'3". Torres will know he's there, as he did in the original game a week and a half back. Aquilani, who joined that game late. Agger. Sewer, who was given a nasty afternoon by Joby McAnuff. Lucas, with whom Aquilani sits deep, as Liverpool return to a formation more familiar to them than the 4-4-2 they went into the first game at Reading with. Here's Gerrard from the right-hand side, and it got stolen away from the outstretched boot of Yossi Benayoun, critically by Ivar Ingemarsen.
It was an important touch. I mean, I don't think he's got any control over this once it comes in from Steven Gerrard. It's a good ball in. It's got him stretching, but it's worked out nicely for him. It just stayed out of reach of Benayoun and indeed Torres just behind.
First quarter of the game, forward for which Daniel Agger has come, and over which Liverpool's driving force Steven Gerrard. Returned to him by Benayoun. Stolen back for Insua, despite a rather rugged challenge from Karachan, who's been shown a yellow card.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough so early in the game. Somebody who plays in central midfield, he was in the thick of it when they met 11 days ago, and it's just mistimed. I mean, he'd made his mind up early, Karachan, that he was going to commit himself to it. Would have been better off just kind of standing up to it.
I thought he was excellent in the first game, Karachan. He's given himself an early problem here, and invited on Gerrard's free kick, which is well fielded by Federici. Landing as it was at the maximum point of inconvenience right in front of him. His clearance came down for Church, and now arrives at Cisse. Karachan missed-kicked. Ingemarsen Thrusting forward header, seen back by Aquilani for Diego Cavalieri, who played in the FA Cup last year, third round tie up at Preston. Carriager's through ball seen by Bertrand. Sigurdsson is the chaser. Carragher under some pressure. McDermott, who has memories of this game from way back, of this venue. He played at Anfield for Berkshire Schoolboys against Merseyside Schoolboys and scored a goal in front of the Kop. No one was on the Kop at the time. Rafa Benitez doesn't go so far back with this club and this venue, but he has won the Cup for Liverpool, the only domestic cup of his management career. Torres. Lost a fair bit of count, but he answered the Dutchman.
I thought he made the wrong decision then, Dirk out by cutting inside, but well defended, and it's good tracking back as well by Sigurdsson, just got a little toe to it. I mean, the start from Liverpool, I think we expected it. There's much more intent about them than we saw out of Medeski.
Gerrard's take, Benayoun didn't make contact. Raziak was at the near post for Reading. Really well won back by Lucas. Prodded forward by Gerrard, pursued by Aquilani. Cisse was there, Ingemarson got caught up. Kaut, Aquilani, behind a lot of them.
Yeah, I think it was aimed for Torres, but he just got maybe a little excited on that one, Aquilani, and overdid it. But I think the system suits Liverpool much better. 4-4-2 didn't quite work at the Medeski. Going back to the 4-2-3-1, you know, I think it helps him with the possession as well, and Liverpool are working the ball much better.
So Aquilani we saw then, he's a bit of a cup specialist in Italy, won the Italian Cup twice, 2007 and 8 with Roma, and here he is again, Aquilani, and now Deggan. Aquilani, Gerrard, Aquilani. Scooped out by Bertrand. Well taken by Church, but Agger was right there beside him. Dane reclaims possession now. Torres from wide. Lucas. Deggan. Count. Tackled by Khalifa Cisse. Just missed out on going to the African Cup of Nations with Mali. Said unreservedly this week he'd rather be here helping Reading than in all probability sat on Mali's bench in Angola.
I thought the Reading midfield were terrific in the first meeting. They made it very, very hard for Liverpool, but I think the extra man now with Gerrard dropping in at times, I think it's just stretching that little bit more already.
Replays have become part of the rhythm of a Reading season. They must be one of the most indecisive cup clubs in the land. Tonight's match means that they've now been in at least one FA Cup replay in 9 out of the last 11 seasons. This is their 11th FA Cup replay in 11 seasons. Of those 11, this is the 7th to occur in the third round. They regularly go to a second game, and they've started this second game adequately and won themselves this free kick within spitting distance of the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Cavalieri has arranged himself a wall of 2. And Sigurdsson and Bertrand are closest to the ball. Sigurdsson from round the corner, right-footed. He struck it well, and Cavalieri had to sprawl across and turn it behind.
I think he's done the right thing, the goalkeeper. You don't try and catch that because there's just too much behind it. but you know, he's ignoring his teammates, clearly going to try and squeeze it inside that near post. Keeper's well positioned though to deal with Sigurdsson effort. Good try.
Uplifting save for Cavalieri. Now Sigurdsson's corner, and Rasiak's leap. Skidded off the top of the head of the beanpole pole.
Well, it was a feature last time they met, and you know, it's there again tonight. I think Reading's ball into the box is there again, whipped in well.
A couple of League Cup games this year for Diego Cavalieri. He also took part in the final game of Liverpool's vain Champions League campaign here against Fiorentina. She kept goal very well on what was evidently a low-key night. Karachan, Gunnarsson, McAnuff. Oh, beautifully played over the top for Church. And Church got something approximating to a shot away.
Yeah, there was a big appeal from the Kop. Little handball, it seemed to come off the right arm of Simon Church, but Carragher was tight to him and took the sting out of it.
Top by Karachan. Church got ahead of Carragher, but couldn't take the ball with him. Life-changing moment for him, about 20 to 6 in the afternoon, the Saturday before last. Simon Church couldn't add to it here, but since twitching that goal for Reading at the Medeski, he has signed a new long-term contract at the club through to 2013. Much appreciated in Wales already, but he's now certainly come to the attention of Britain as a whole.
I thought his work rate was fantastic, Peter. You know, on that score, I think he probably needs a little bit more from his partner Rasiak up there this evening. He was much quieter.
Picked on by Benayoun, welcomed in by Torres, given to Gerrard, Benayoun, Aquilani. Liverpool seeking a smoothness and a rhythm that wasn't often evident down in Berkshire. Lucas lost it to Sigurdsson and made it his business to win it back.
Glad to have a chance, but Aquilani, you know, he's looking bright. And I think he wants a performance that's going to finally kind of convince him that, you know, he feels like a Liverpool player now. And again, I think that system back there with Lucas, I think suits him. He seems to have plenty of space.
Benayoun. Gunnarsson wouldn't let him rest, but there's now a gap in Reading's right back position, so it's important that Bertrand from left back got a foot in, which he did, and in so doing has done some damage to Cout.
Well, he looked a fair challenge from the fullback. Dirk Cout was unaware. Look, he doesn't see him coming, and he's just had a little turn. He might have just jarred it. He certainly played the ball, Bertrand, and has clipped him on the way through.
Feeling the pain if his face is any guide, Dirk Cout, seeing whom on the Anfield pitch on a night like this might remind Rafa Benitez and others, not that they wanted, of the last nasty shot they took in a game similar to this. Dirk Cout gave Liverpool the lead against Barnsley 2 years ago. And went on to lose that game to Brian Howard's goal, and Brian Howard, I'm sure you're aware by now, is on Reading's bench tonight. There's been a goal in the night's other third-round replay tonight. Newcastle have scored it, specifically Peter Lovenkrantz has scored it. It is Newcastle 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Winners of that game are away to West Bromwich Albion in round 4. And whilst they won't be listening to us, congratulations to all Plymouth Argyle supporters who made it to St James's Park tonight. Sent forward by Agger, out by Bertrand. Wales labour to keep that from going behind. Degan. Torres ran out of pitch. Scored the winner on Reading's last visit to this ground in the Premier League in March 2008, as well as a League Cup hat-trick at Reading in September 2007, Fernando Torres. His only FA Cup goal was at Preston last January.
Look again, the work rate there from Church. Terrific, and he's forced the mistake from Cavalieri.
Throw. Aga's half clearance has worked out well for Gerrard. Moved on for Kaut. Hit early by Aquilani, who's seen the dash from Degan. And Degan was on the point of penetrating the penalty area when he went to earth under challenge from Sigurdsson. That would have been mighty close to the line. Yeah, Phil Dowd has given a free kick.
Look just outside. Great ball from Aquilani to get Degan in to begin with. Just seems to be a tangle of legs. I mean, I think he's done an awful lot there. The arm goes out a little bit. Certainly outside.
Degan certainly looking fit enough. He was sent off at Fulham right at the end of October, since when, before tonight, he's played just 8 minutes of first-team football against Arsenal in the middle of December. He's won this free kick, in charge of which again is Gerrard. Gerrard has aimed it in. And it came out to Kaut, who had 2 stabs at it, and it came out to Degan, and now Gerrard again. Aga couldn't keep it alive in the way that Igor Raziak did for Reading's goal 11 days ago.
Well, it was just a little panicky, wasn't it? I mean, it could have been cleared much better than that. That wasn't good from Mills, and he did very well, because once it dropped to Kaut, he followed it up and he actually got the block on it in atone for the earlier error.
Raziak. Clubbed out by Aga, clubbed forward again by Ingemarson. Akinov hasn't got into this game the way he did the original one yet.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Insu will be very much aware of that you know, any time it's looking actually go to that side, he's got to get tight to him and he's got to win the first couple of little duels they have. But equally now, I think Akinov will be looking for some of the ball, just to give himself a chance to see if he can cause the trouble he did under Medeski.
Scored goals in the FA Cup for Wimbledon and for Cardiff and for Crystal Palace. He scored one in this competition for Watford, from where he followed Brendan Rodgers to Reading last year. Rather becalmed Anfield, and Anfield that needs a goal. Degan. It's not coming like that.
I think Liverpool would have spoken about it as well, Rafa Benitez, about the fact that they're going to have to keep working the ball swiftly, keep it moving with a good tempo, because, you know, Reading will make them work all the way for anything they're going to get out of tonight. And you know, after a decent start by Liverpool knocking the ball about, Reading are looking a little more settled.
Found touch, getting 21st in the Championship, but their home form is largely to blame for that. They've only won once at home all season. Their away form is the match of most in comfortable mid-table. 14 of their 23 points have come away from the Medeski. Gerrard and Torres. Federici withdrew his hand, and Reading have a goal kick.
Well, it looks as if he's trying to have a pop there, Torres. A little ambitious. No, he's hugely talented and he's banged him in from that range before, but he would have been better off trying to look for Kaut and Benayoun. But I mean, again, Aquilani was at the base of it, feeding Gerrard and on to Torres. I think the Italian's doing well.
going to... Karachan. Mills. No problem for Deggan. Aquilani. Lucas. Knocked away from Karachan. Invited in Aquilani. Nice idea to try and get Benayoun scampering through.
He looks as if he's really enjoyed himself out there, Peter Aquilani.
Lucas for Gerrard. Gerrard in at Benayoun, up in the air off Mills. Oh, it's a brave header from Ingemarsen, given that Torres was throwing in his foot. Since the first game, Adam Federici, one or two gossip columns, has been linked with Liverpool. His clearance is interesting. Sigurdsson. Cavalieri rather threw his foot at that and gets away with it. His clearance isn't great either. Followed by Cisse. Taken off it by Khalifa Cisse, and then ran into trouble with Cal, Torres, Gerrard. Dennison shinned it partially clear. Benayoun picks up the pieces. Insua. Torres. Aquilani. Well spotted by Karachan. Into a corridor for Church. Raziak's unmarked in the middle. Carragher's just spotted him. Church away from Agger. And, oh, what a chance for Raziak. Well, inexplicably, Carragher let it reach him.
It did, but I think it's brilliant again from Church, because, you know, Reading are deep, defending. Look at the run from him. Great outlet. And he tricks Agger here. He thinks he's going to cross it, just comes inside. Now, Jamie Carragher scored a few own goals in his time, and I think that's in his head. I think he feels if he gets a touch on that, he's putting it into his own net. Decides to take the chance and leave it. And to be honest with you, Raziak, that's limp for me. Should be getting right over that and smacking it in. What a chance missed.
I was talking to Brian McDermott yesterday when he was on the team bus on the way up here, and he was telling me his one memory of playing at Anfield for Arsenal in a proper top-flight game. They lost the game 2-0 to goals from Terry McDermott and David Johnson, but he fluffed a one-on-one against Grobbelaar in front of the Kop, so he'll know how Raziak feels.
I bet he mentions it to him. Raziak won't know that, will he?
I shouldn't have thought so. He might by the end of the evening. Big chance there for Gregor Raziak. Arsenal's clearance isn't a good one. Mills, I beg your pardon. Here's Gerrard. Torres. Bertrand stayed with him. Sigurdsson cleared. Taken, checked by Sigurdsson.
And true to his word as well, Brian McDermott said, we're going to come here and play with adventure. We're not just going to sit and try and contain. We're going to go at Liverpool when the moment is right.
Aquilani, seen by McAnuff. Trapped by Benayoun. Rolls it in for Church. Sigurdsson alongside Church. His clearance was nodded out by Agger. Here's Mills. Bertrand. Sigurdsson. Away from Deggan. Away from Aquilani. Deggan got back to his station. And Carragher clears. Oh, mistake by Mills, through by Torres. Dennison sorted it out, and Federici finds touch.
You know, you can just see from Steven Gerrard's reaction, he knew that was a real opportunity to get him clean through, and Torres didn't get it quite right. Should have redirected it more into his path, left him with too much to do.
Through by Lucas. And, out of harm's way by Ivar Ingemarsen. The 3 Icelandic players in the Reading team. Seems somehow suitable on a night like this. Mind you, I checked today, and Reykjavik is 5 degrees warmer than Liverpool at the moment, and hasn't had a sign of any snow.
Good run from Deggan, then forced the corner. He's Johnson-like in that regard.
Gerrard's corner. Mills' slightly misplaced header. Gerrard to reload. Ingemarsen to head away again. And Gunnarsson has found McAnuff, and McAnuff has half a pitch to run into here. Church forward in support. Raziak getting there too. McAnuff, Church! Any touch. Any touch.
This is brilliant counter-attacking from Reading. I mean, Ingemarsen got the header on the near post, and the break is on. Look at the space he's afforded McAnuff. Lucas can't get there to cut it out. This is an exquisite little ball in to find Church. Great movement from the striker, and if he gets a little bit more on that, maybe he got the barest touch, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Well, if he gets anything on that, then every chance it's finding a net. Superb break.
McDermott knows that the best 2 chances of the game, the second of those constructed by Joby McAnuff's pace, the best 2 chances of the game, 25 minutes in, have fallen to Reading. Forward by Bertrand for Raziak, who really ought to have converted the first of them. Carragher. And again. Aquilani's won the throw. Deggan on FA Cup debut takes it, the Swiss full-back. No luck with injuries since coming to this club. Agger. And Sewer. Mainly into the arms of Federici. Isaac muscled with Lucas. Won it for Karachan. Here's Gunnarsson. Church is making another threatening run. Cavalieri's read that well.
Yeah, he hung that one up, Gunnarsson. I think the ball really was for McAnuff, who was in a wider position just ahead of him. But the 2 chances, the quality of the balls in have been brilliant. The one from Church and then McAnuff. Superb.
Cisse. Aquilani turning. Benayoun. Sure, Fernando Torres is moving quite right. Right from the bench is that David Ngom is preparing to come on. Aquilani. Bertrand. Deggan had nowhere to go. Torres. Aquilani. Benayoun. Gerrard. Lucas, Benayoun. Count's got a fair bit of space. Space that was closed down by Ryan Bertrand. And here comes David Ngom, who began the original tie before being replaced for the last quarter by Aquilani. Deggan giving and going, Cisse seeing the danger. Well, now this is not what a Liverpool supporter wanted to see. Here he is going shoulder to shoulder with Bertrand, and then goes to his knees, evidently discomfited. One would think his haste to come off suggests that it's probably precautionary. Certainly, as a Liverpool supporter, you would hope so, Jim.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's every encouragement to Reading now, isn't it? But yeah, that's a blow for Liverpool, no doubt. Especially with getting Gerrard up with him. getting closer to him again, you know, for this game. I think Reading have got to be thrilled by that.
Well, there is no question that whether out of necessity or sentiment, Rafa Benitez and Liverpool have gone strong for the FA Cup. Torres' selection, both in the original game by Benitez and tonight, suggest, as we all suspected, that this is a competition they want, some would say need. But his injury in this tie, they will now be hoping desperately, is not a serious long-term one. He ran off fairly freely. Karachan, Raziak, Sigurdsson. Karachan has stayed down, Sigurdsson has been caught, and Reading have a free kick. Lucas, the offender, nothing to do with Karachan's ailment.
Yeah, well, I mean, Torres goes off, and then all of a sudden, you know, Reading start winning the little 50-50s. I mean, it's a soft one in the end. I think Karachan's happy to take that with Degen committing himself to ground.
Turkish under-21 who put himself about to very good effect in the first game and has started this replay with similar vigour. Bertrand and Sigurdsson again the co-conspirators over the free kick. In by Sigurdsson, out by Gerrard. Gunnarsson. Lucas with the header out. Moved on for Degen, who was met by Cisse.
You know, bright start for Aquilani, but it's not quite going for him now. He's given it away a few times and can't seem to get on it all of a sudden. Well, McDermott was very proud with a 1-1 draw, and I think he'd be delighted at the response of his players again tonight. I wonder if, I mean, he must be still thinking as well, Raziak should have buried it.
Scored in the third and fourth rounds for Watford in last year's FA Cup competition. Began this season as a Southampton player. Had the opportunity to score the goal of his dreams in front of the Kop at Anfield, and it didn't happen. Benayoun. Worked out by Sigurdsson and held up by Raziak and taken up by McAnuff, who's got his head up and who's got away from Aquilani but couldn't quite feed it outside of Carragher for Raziak.
Well, look at the reaction from McAnuff. Hands went on the head, he knows it was there. There was enough room to actually slip it through to the pole. Didn't quite get it right with the outside of the right foot.
Carragher out of harm's way again. Bertrand's throw. Sigurdsson thought he'd won another one, but this decision was given against him. He's top scorer this year, 7 goals. Only found touch. Maxi Rodriguez, introduced to the crowd before the game, scored on this ground last season in the Champions League for Atletico Madrid. Remember the game, Steven Gerrard got a late and very controversial equaliser from the penalty spot for Liverpool. think any of us will ever forget that wonderful goal he scored in the World Cup finals for Argentina against Mexico. And then at the end of extra time, Sorin's ball from halfway, she took on his chest and swiveled and won the game. And two others who've pulled on the Liverpool shirt as well. Nobody scored more goals in the Cup than Ian Rush. And I don't suppose anybody laid on more of them for him than Kenny Dalglish.
What a partnership, the very best.
Well, privileged to have been their workmate, Jim. McAnuff. And theirs to have been yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, two of the best I was fortunate enough to play with. I mean, it's just clumsy again, Liverpool, then Carragher with the first ball. It's just aimless. As I say, you know, I thought Liverpool were out of the blocks quickly and had good intent about him, but Reading have been very impressive since.
With depth by Goodison, too much depth. McDermott, who is still the caretaker manager, he's quite happy to be doing it game by game. Some might suggest that his future as full-time boss of Reading might hinge on this. I suspect it hinges more on getting away from the bottom reaches of the Championship. But he has been a part of Reading for just about the whole of what has been the most successful decade in their club's history. He is absolutely a part of the furniture, as Steve Coppell would be the first to testify. This ball was seen by Goodison, out by Mills.
That's pretty much all he's getting to do now, Federici. It's too quiet for him. Liverpool aren't working him.
Lucas got a flick on that and was glad to see it get all the way through to Cavalieri. It's become a little sleepy. And if Reading keep their eyes wide awake, they might spot an opportunity to do something special here. They've come into this game on a pretty ordinary run, 6 without a win since they picked up all 3 points at Hillsborough at the beginning of December. Carragher's header away from Raziak, down by Bertrand. Now Cisse and Karachan, too close to Insua. Pushing the header from Benayoun, Aquilani from quarterback. Kout for Gerrard, Gerrard for Kout. Rolled in for Benayoun, over the top for Ngog, really well seen by Ingemarson. And hoofed clear by Mills for Church, behind whom was Carragher.
They defended quite well. Ingemarson and Mills getting in the way of whatever they can. I just think that these two, need to start getting on it again, and that's not good from Lucas. You know, it was crisp earlier on, and now it's all a little wayward and clumsy. But I think Lucas and Aquilani need to start getting hold of it again now. Start working Kout. Benayoun's been quiet on the left side. Get Gerrard into it again and giving Gog something to go at, but it's all a little disjointed from Liverpool.
Scarves and hats night, unless you're crazy and choose to be t-shirted. Here's Karachan. Bertrand. Too much from Cisse. Despite their shortage of points, Reading tend to score. They haven't failed to score in any of the last 10 games they've played in all competitions. Problem's been that they've only kept one clean sheet in that time. They've been knocked out in the third round in each of the last 2 years and relegated. There is their chairman, Sir John Medeski, who has a decision to make about his next manager, whether it be the current incumbent or not. He actually rang Brian McDermott the other day. Boss, Must have seen his name on the on his phone and thought, hey, what does he want? He actually rang to ask permission to come home on the team bus, which is a nice bit of humility from the chairman. Liverpool threatening with Degan. And Benayoun! Oh, it's a beautifully shaped shot. Beautifully shaped.
Yeah, good run from the fullback again, Degan. I mentioned Johnson early on, and he loves to just bomb forward, Degan. It's the best part of his game, and I mean, that was so close from Benayoun. Just a touch of class, and he's very unlucky. Didn't even need to take a touch. Fully in control, very close. Federici never getting there.
Clearance, crosses the touchline, alongside which is Gabriel Clark with news on Torres. Gabriel.
Peter, the good news is it's not his long-standing groin problem. The bad news is it's a twist to his knee. Fernando Torres felt a twinge in that knee, took the precaution of coming off. The initial diagnosis from the medical team at Liverpool is it's not serious, but as you know, with knees, you have to see how they react overnight.
Hope for the best. Here's Ngog. The shot was tame.
Oh, but it's better. At least Federici's having something to think about now. The effort from Benayoun and God didn't really get the power in the shot.
Degan. He showed up well in the attacking half. Gerrard. Lucas. Well, you heard the crowd reaction.
Yeah, well, that won't endear him to the faithful here. He's had a few loose ones of late. This was the one from Ngog. I mean, Gerrard does well to find him, and then Reading never really closed him, allowed to cut him inside. Gunnarsson should have done a little bit better, but as I said earlier on, that there's no real power in the shot, hasn't made the connection he wished. And I think he's still a little irked by it.
His first Anfield FA Cup night. 2 years since arrival from Paris. News about Torres will be slightly disturbing for followers of Liverpool, like everyone else, not least because of the harsh winter we're having. They have busy weeks ahead. Down at Stoke Saturday lunchtime, then the rearranged Spurs game this time next week. Wolves and Bolton make up January's fixture list. Raziak. Church chasing, and Carragher away. Brian Laws, the new manager of Burnley, who will play the winners of this tie. A terrific career break for him. Out of the Championship with Sheffield Wednesday, into the Premier League with Burnley. If Liverpool can make this tie go to form, his first cup tie in charge of the Clarets will be at Anfield. Benayoun. Karachan wants to take this quickly. Gunnarsson wants him to take it quickly.
But again, Peter, you know, the problems created by Liverpool themselves. Not the greatest ball from Aquilani to Benayoun, comes back at him, and you know, he handles it.
Reading looking to end the first half on the front foot here. In by Sigurdsson, too much for Raziak.
Well, so many have been accurate, you know, been well placed from the dead ball situations, but just before half-time, that is a waste.
Police officer or steward, please. Anthony Allen Davis of Brighton.
Gerrard, nice touch for Benayoun, who clashed with Mills. And Matt Mills becomes the second Reading player to have his name taken on the night.
Yeah, well, he had the earlier one, didn't he, in the match when he bumped Torres, and that's pretty clear.
It's what we call a foul. A fairly deliberate one in the closing seconds of the first half, which will bring more warmth and satisfaction to followers of Reading than it will Liverpool. albeit that Liverpool are in a position to construct what may be the last chance of the half. Agger's free kick. Demarson's header out. Count. Agger. Count was appearing round the back, and Bertrand was aware of that.
Yeah, he did the right thing. You know, if in doubt, just get it out. And no surprise to see Steven Gerrard race over to try and get the corner taken. Urgency about it now, if he can just snatch one here.
1 minute stoppage time, we're into it. Gerrard's corner, Agger twitched, Bellerin hit it, and Liverpool get another corner.
Well, Agger's tried to control it. I just wonder, had it been a striker, could you have gone for the volley first time? I think it was on.
Gerrard once more, came out to Lucas, came out to Gerrard, in for Ngog, Gerrard, deflection goal! Right on half-time. Steven Gerrard with a little help along the way, and somewhat fortuitously, Liverpool have a relieving lead.
Yeah, I mean, a great break for Liverpool, but you know, it seems very, very hard on Reading. Never quite got the first one away. I think this is clever as well by Gerrard to get it past the first, and in the end it just comes off Ingemarson. There's absolutely nothing he can do. Steven Gerrard is just trying to whip it across the 6-yard box. It's just very, very unlucky. Federici completely wrong-footed, and it's a tough break against Reading, who very well before did very well.
Through by Ngog, and now Gerrard. Cisse stole it off Ngog's foot. And Reading, for the first time in the whole tie, have it to chase. Cisse. Well, Liverpool got lucky. They needed to, because they were in danger of going behind themselves to good chances for Raziak and Church before Ingemarson got unlucky, getting his touch on Gerrard's shot and establishing a lead for the Premier League team at half-time. Liverpool 1, Reading 0.
So seconds before the half-time whistle, Liverpool cruelly making Reading pay for those chances that went begging. We'll have an analysis from Steve Coppell and also from Andy Townsend right after the break. Sometimes the FA Cup really tests the character. The cruelest of blows for Reading. Liverpool take the lead with a Bertrand own goal at the end of a first half that Reading dominated at times and created by far the better chances. That's the class of Liverpool and the agony sometimes, Steve, of the FA Cup. You have to feel for Reading, don't you?
Well, you do. For 45 minutes they were fabulous. It was the game plan played to perfection. They'd been very, very solid in defence and broke well into attack, and that last minute of injury time was very, very cruel for them. But I think the first 45 showed that they can and are capable of hurting Liverpool, and that will be the message, I'm sure, that Brian will be talking about at half-time.
The goal, sometimes in that first half, Reading had looked just a little bit panicky at the back.
Yeah, well, I actually think they coped very well, and I think they looked pretty comfortable, Steve, to be honest. I mean, the goal sometimes, there's not a lot you can do about it. If Gerrard knocks one in from 25 yards in the top corner, then you can't really grumble. But with this one, you feel sorry. It ends up going in off Ryan Bertrand. They deal with the first ball. Gets a little deflection that goes back to Gerrard. You've got to be careful there. But this is, I mean, that's just unlucky. Goalkeeper can do nothing about it. It's actually, the cross I don't think is going to anyone significant from Gerrard. If it doesn't hit Bertrand, I think you'll see it from this angle. It actually looks like it's going to come across the box, and it just hits the fullback on the foot and goes in the back of the net. Nothing you can do about that, Steve.
No, absolutely not. Again, Gerrard just the key. He beats the man on the edge of the box. The ball was just good sliding on the 6-yard line, and poor old Ryan Bertrand just got his foot in the way of it, deflected it past Federici. And
Liverpool mighty fortunate, because we've seen all that old Reading spirit that we'd enjoyed 11 days ago, especially from the likes of Simon Church, who's been outstanding.
Yeah, he has. He's led the line really well. He's made some terrific runs, and on the break, again here, Karachan plays a ball down the line, and Simon Church gets on the ball. You think he hasn't got anywhere to go. He checks back inside, leaves Agger for dead, and then that ball there is just a terrific ball. Gives Jamie Carragher has so many problems, and how he defends it the way he does, I just don't know. Again, you just see this check back now, plays the ball into a danger area rather than to anyone, and Carragher just steps over it. He mustn't know that anyone's behind him, but it works and effective.
This is the other one, Steve. This is the Simon Church chance. The header, look, we run the clock in the left-hand corner there. You can see from the moment they dealt with the first header, it's what, 12 seconds before. I mean, really, he should score there. Yeah. He's worked so hard in the first 45 minutes. When you see it in this slow-mo angle, it's a great run, and he's only got to just extend his neck and just put a drop on that, and that's going to flash in the back of the net. His work rate, his effort has been sensational. He just needs to apply the finishing touch there, and they would have deservedly taken the lead.
Once again, the quality of those Reading crosses and the final delivery has been absolutely outstanding.
It's been terrific, but they've grown into the game because Liverpool have again dropped back into this, you know, this very laboured sort of attitude in the way they play. You know, you sense that the rest of the team are looking at Gerrard, looking at Torres. What are you going to do for us? What are you going to give for us? And when it's not happening there, then you need something a little bit more. Degan grew into the half a little bit better from the full-back position, Steve, didn't he? But in the main, it's very, very predictable what they're doing and the way they're going about it.
They have created chances, Liverpool, but Reading will certainly have been encouraged by the Liverpool loss of Torres, but...
Steve, you felt once they started getting beyond getting at people, then they looked a little bit of a different proposition.
Yeah, it was all about runners for me, because the football has been so, I use the word limp, but it is predictable. It's in front of the Reading gates, and the only way you can break that down then is people take on the responsibility of running at individuals, 1v1 situations. Ngog does it brilliantly there, steps inside and has a shot. It's not a powerful shot, but at least by running at people, you commit defenders. They have to defend, they have to make the right decisions, and then things happen. The quality will come to the top then, and you'll see the best from the better Liverpool players. OK, but it's maybe slightly more than Liverpool deserve. We'll be back with our golden ticket competition and what could still be a very challenging second half for Liverpool right after the break.
To celebrate the fantastic year of football ahead on ITV, we're giving you the chance across all our football shows to win the ultimate golden ticket for you and 3 friends to go to 4 major football finals next summer. Your first stop will be Hamburg for the UEFA Europa League final, with tickets provided by SEAT. Then it's straight back to London for the FA Cup final. Next it's off to the UEFA Champions League final in Madrid, with tickets provided by Sony. And to top it off, you'll be heading down to South Africa to the 2010 FIFA World Cup final with tickets courtesy of Sony. The prize is for 4 people and includes flights, accommodation in all 4 cities and £10,000 spending money. All you have to do to enter is text ticket to 65330. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message, or enter online for free at itv.com. We'll reply with your unique ticket number, and the winning golden ticket will be announced during the FA Cup match on ITV1 on Saturday the 13th of February. Entrance must be 18 or over, and lines close at midday on Monday the 8th of February. Entries made after the closing time will not be counted, but may still be charged. And may you have the luck of Liverpool with that competition. They're very fortunate to be a goal up on Reading in this third-round replay here at Anfield. We're looking for a lot more composure, a lot more domination, perhaps, from Liverpool in the second half. What do you made of Aquilani in that first half, Steve? Well, probably waiting for him to happen. I think since he's been here, he's been under the microscope. Andy said at the start of the programme, he didn't put his own price, 20-odd million. But I always get the feeling, or certainly in this game, in the first 45 minutes, every time he gets the ball, he's almost trying the jackpot ball. He's trying the most difficult ball. And when they come off, it looks great, but there's been a lot of occasions where he's stuttered and things are broken down, and that makes him look a poor player. Still to see the best of him, but I think an awful lot of Liverpool eyes are on him, expecting something special. And you can see how the crowd here at Anfield gets so frustrated. This is a side that just blows hot and cold throughout a match. And it can change very, very quickly. I mean, look, they can quite easily come out here for this second half, Steve, and produce something a little bit special and maybe put the game to bed. But they're also very capable of dropping back into this lull that allows other teams to grow into the game and to feel confident about themselves. And I think if Reading can retain the attitude they've shown in the first 45 minutes, the attitude that Leeds had when they went to Old Trafford, not to just sit there and try and stay in a game, but to be brave enough to go and have a go at Liverpool,
then they're not out of this game yet. They're far from out of it. I'm telling you, they've got chances. They've got boys up front like Church that are willing to run. They've got McDermott down the right-hand side that looks like he's quick enough to frighten everybody. I think they'll get 1 or 2 more opportunities if they can provide the right sort of delivery, Steve. You never know.
Such a dispiriting time to concede a goal, though, isn't it, Steve? How do you build a side up after an experience like that, right at the end of the first half?
Well, you don't talk about it. I think you ignore that and concentrate on the way they had performed in the first 45 minutes. They put the game to bed in terms of Liverpool's attacking threat. And on the break, as Andy said, McDermott, I still think, is a key member of their team. He's the one who drives, who runs at people. His crosses have been exceptional. And with Church in the box, he looks very, very lively today. He looks as if he could finish something off. He'll be disappointed not to have got his head on the first one, but there will be opportunities still to come.
That was Bertrand, who got a very unfortunate touch just before half-time, an own goal that gives Liverpool the advantage, a slender advantage here at Anfield. The other replay tonight, by the way, Newcastle leading Plymouth by 2-0 at St James's Park. Both goals from Lovenkrantz. We'll have highlights after the second half of Liverpool against Reading. And Andy, Reading definitely not out of this.
Not out of this at all. They've got to keep believing that they can create opportunities. And Raziak, we know that, again, he's the sort of guy that, given an opportunity, he might give the guys at the back a little bit of a problem, but they have to keep believing. Yes, they've got to keep it tight, Steve, but I just hope they retain the attitude they showed in that first 45 minutes, because it was positive, and they had Liverpool rocking at times.
And Liverpool, let's remind everyone, with Torres off, but the information, the news is reasonably encouraging. A knee problem, we don't know the extent of it yet.
No, you're never going to know. You're not going to know exactly what's wrong with him at this stage. It's not good to see a player like Torres going off, but opportunities again for 1 or 2 others. And Gog in particular now has got to go and show that he might have to lead the line for the next couple of weeks. Who knows?
Into the second half, Liverpool mighty relieved to be a goal up on Reading in this third round replay. We're back with Jim Beglin and Peter Drury.
Thank you, Steve. As you can see, there is some fairly urgent business going on involving Ryan Babel on the Liverpool bench here, and the word is that Steven Gerrard is being withdrawn, and that is borne out by the fact that Steven Gerrard is the only Liverpool player who hasn't returned to the field for the start of the second half. So the headline having been that Gerrard and Torres start now becomes neither Gerrard nor Torres finish for Rafa Benitez. We have heard the whys and wherefores of Torres' withdrawal. Gerrard's is the next subject for investigation. But Ryan Babel, who has recently, as doubtless you've read, been the subject of 1 or 2 sizable transfer bids, but who has chosen to stay and fight for his place in the Liverpool first team, is on in place of the captain.
Yeah, and he's going to operate down the right-hand side, which will mean Dirk Kuyt will go inside and play the Steven Gerrard role. I mean, you never like to see players off injured, Peter, but, you know, it is more good news for Reading. I mean, that has to give them even more encouragement, like the Torres departure.
And the fact, Jim, that it was fairly urgently dealt with, it clearly wasn't preordained. It appears to have been something thrust upon Liverpool rather than a decision that they chose to make. However, more on that as we learn about it. Liverpool have a rather scrappy 1-goal lead. They carried out a poll on their website over the last week or 2, asking supporters whether they would rather be at Wembley on May the 15th or Hamburg for the final of the Europa League 3 days prior to that, and Wembley came out the comfortable winner. This is the prize, assuming the Premier League isn't available, but they really want to win. Burnley wait for them in the 4th round. Ngog by Mills. Out for Degan. It's tackled by the unfortunate Bertrand. His own goal, knocked out in a 3rd round replay in each of the last 2 seasons whilst on loan at Norwich.
I owe Ingemarsson an apology. I thought it had come off him. Of course, it was Bertrand. I just think they'll still have a confidence about things, Reading, you know, with the chances they created in the first half. And the fact that, you know, Liverpool have been weakened now, their two main men have left the pitch.
Well, it would be natural for Reading's eyes to light up. Been given a greater chance. Ingemarson across. News on Gerrard now from Gabriel.
I've just spoken to the Liverpool managing director, Christian Purslow, who's been downstairs with a slightly anxious expression, waiting to find out the latest news on Steven Gerrard, who was pulled out just before the start of the second half. He's felt a twinge in his hamstring. He's got some ice on it now. It's another precautionary situation for Liverpool, but there are a few furrowed brows around that Liverpool dressing room right now.
The two star names not available for him in the second half. Since the first game, he's done a bit of business. Andrea Dossena has disappeared to Napoli. Andrew Voronin has disappeared to Dinamo Moscow. Ryan Babel hasn't disappeared, as I say. Director Tom Hicks Jr. has ceased to be a director. There's been a bit of shenanigans and musical chairs in the boardroom. Maxi Rodriguez has arrived. It's not been a dull week and a half for Liverpool, even without a game. By default, in a sense, opportunity knocks here for Reading.
Yeah, I think, and the fact, I'm sure Brian McDermott would have mentioned, that Liverpool haven't been convincing throughout that opening 45.
For Sigurdsson, he's shrugged off it by Deggan. Now here's Count. Ingemarson went into him, and despite the fact the ball had come to N'Gog, Phil Dowd blew for a free kick. Oh, well, that Daniel Agger is inclined to club them from this sort of range. Lucas is moving away from the scene, but Aquilani might also fancy his first stab at scoring in front of the Kop. When he hits them, they stay hit, Agger. It did stay hit, but it was pretty simple, pretty straight, and into the middle brick of the wall. McAnuff. McDermott, who was in the Arsenal reserves, end of the 70s, start of the 80s. 3 years in a row he went to Wembley and watched them in the cup final, 78, 79, 80. They won one of those, the famous Alan Sunderland game, and lost two, surprisingly, to Ipswich and West Ham. Only ever played one FA Cup tie for Arsenal and lost it over the park at Goodison in the third round. Aquilani. Count. Fouled by Cisse.
Well, Liverpool not happy because I think they feel Mr. Dowd could have let that go and played the advantage. It's good footwork, Aquilani, but the little touch there from Cisse felt was a foul, but it was a little bit of an overlap one for Liverpool on the left-hand side.
Aquilani quickly on with it, and Sua. Benayoun. Aquilani. Benayoun, Insua beyond him. Aquilani. Benayoun. Ingemarson in the way, Insua. Against Goodison behind.
I wonder whether Aquilani was going to take it on his right and have a pop, but it was a nice little ball to get Benayoun, thread him in on the left-hand side of the box.
And by Aquilani, oh! Count tried something extravagant.
Yeah, almost got his goal. It's a very, very difficult one to execute. And it's well whipped in, you know, lively again from Aquilani. Went out and got it. Whipped a good one in, but there's no real control on it from the Dutchman.
Maziak. McAnuff. stood his ground. Aquilani quickly forward for Couch. Balls for Karachan. Sigurdsson for Bertrand. Lucas protecting. Down by Ngog for Couch. Here's Bubble. Couch. Good ball for Deggan, who skipped away from Bertrand, but not a second time, came back to Cow. But Deggan had fouled Ryan Bertrand. And Phil Dowd has gone to his pocket. And he is going to book Philip Deggan.
Well, I mean, you know, Deggan does really well here. Lovely little dink to get past Bertrand, and he should be whipping that across. And that is why he was booked, because he went for the dive. The referee indicated that, made a little gesture just to confirm it.
There's 3 games in the Premier League, 4 in the League Cup since his arrival from Borussia Dortmund. Philip Deggan, directly after the last European Championships. 2 major periods out of the side injured. Against Ngog this time. Marson with a chance to load it in for the Royals. Up by Aquilani. He's won the throw. And Sewer, who's turned 21 since the original tie, came of age on Thursday. Now, Andrea Desena has gone. There's one less competitor for the left-back slot.
He's having a much more comfortable evening, though. McAnuff is not giving him nearly the trouble he did when they first met.
Posted forward by Carragher. I've got Mills. Up by Lucas. Count dealt with an awkward bounce. And Lucas again. Arsenal away only as far as Cow. Spread by Aquilani. Taken up by Benayoun. Faced by Gunnarsson. Yossi Benayoun. Came in Sewer, lashed out by Joby McAnuff.
A good idea, but just didn't get enough on it, Benayoun. It's clever from Cow to begin the move, just dropping off and picking up the knockdown from the centre-back.
Carragher. Handed Ngog. By Ingemarson. Cisse seen off it. It's come to Babel. Ngog beyond Aquilani. And taken away from the poised Benayoun by Karachan. He still found Lucas and Count. It's spooned up off Ingemarson. Federici prevents it from going behind.
Yeah, and all because, you know, Cisse's closed down quickly by Lucas. Decent ball from Ngog, far post, but no real threat to Reading.
Lucas. Degan. Liverpool still in the business of trying to kill this tie off. It's dead, it certainly isn't. Cisse. Well, he took it from Church, but Church is again prepared to chase an apparently lost cause.
Oh, he will all night. But, you know, I think Reading need to get back to actually getting it to Raziak's feet, Church's feet. Try and hold it up, get them back up the pitch. Can't quite find their strikers just now.
Activity on the Reading bench. Brian Howard underneath that woolly hat, about to come to the stage of his greatest Cup moment. Aquilani away from Church. Lucas slithering inside Karachan. Goodison stole it back from Reading. Back from Federici. Held up by Raziak. On by Cisse. Naga got ahead of Church. Down by Ngog. Lucas. Degan. Bubble wide. Ngog through the middle. Count. Wide for Benayoun. Yossi Benayoun. What a good tackle that is. Matt Mills. Aquilani as Liverpool come again. A little more assurance about them now. So Aquilani couldn't find Degan. Lucas goes in to try and win it back, but now Liverpool are line at the back as Karachan counters. McAnuff wide of him, Church through the middle, and Karachan's touch was too heavy.
And that time it was a good advantage by the referee because he could have blown for the foul on Raziak. And Karachan just good run and just lost control of it.
Now the most romantic moment in the Cup life of Brian Howard occurred on this ground when he scored that thrilling late winner for Barnsley here a couple of years ago. He is going to get an opportunity to enable Lightning to strike twice in the same place. And that's half an hour to hit that hero's goal again for supporters in blue this time.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a little more forward thinking than Cisse was. He principally just sits there and breaks it up.
Quiz question coming up for you, Jim, in a moment.
There's another I'll get wrong then.
Who was the Liverpool goalkeeper against Barnsley? Made by Federici. Stopped by Lucas. Benayoun.
Itonji.
Good answer. Here's Bubble. Degan went to ground. It certainly wasn't a dive this time. But it might well have been a corner, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant is only a few yards from it. It looked as if it came off Church's leg. Yeah, it did. And no final touch from Degan. He's even trying to keep it in. That's the giveaway. And he still doesn't see it, the assistant.
Marson, kept in by Bertrand. Out by Lucas. And then by Degan. Karachan charged down by Babel, who has Ngog ahead of him. David Ngog. Out by Ingemarson, chased away by Bertrand. Seeing more of the ball in recent times and playing with a shade more conviction now.
Yeah, they look as if they've got some control now, Liverpool, to go with the lead.
Aga, Benayoun, Counts. An overly smart touch, at least in theory.
Yeah, he's looking for the little 1-2. Benayoun went to go again, but ran straight into Goodison. There's the block. No, he can't get there.
Well, up Raziak. Well, up Raziak again. Sigurdsson. Enough wins the throw. Experienced Gunnarsson up from right full back to take it. Filling in again tonight for what has been Reading's problem position. Been a few who've played there this season. Liam Rossigna, who's off at Ipswich now on loan. Julian Kelly, Sean Cummings, loanee from Chelsea, has played there. Jay Tabb, generally a midfield player, has filled in at right back this year, and right now it's Brynjar Gunnarsson, but they have this week brought in Andy Griffin on loan from Stoke, who you would assume would fill those boots.
Well, it looks as if he's going to go again, Peter. Brian McDermott, you know, he's brought Howard on to try and get him up the pitch a little bit more, but it's not quite happening, so I think he's going to make another introduction.
Very well there, Howard to lever himself out of a corner, but Liverpool come back with Kaut and Aquilani. They are ticking now, Liverpool. It is happening a bit. Lucky to have their lead, but appearing assured now that they do have it. Lucas, Babel, Benayoun wanted to give it him back. Babel was blocked off by Ivar Ingemarsen, and Liverpool have a free kick within a foot of the edge of the box.
Yeah, he's gone for the little 1-2 off Benayoun, and Ingemarsen's claim, well, look, he's running to me, I can't do anything about it. And he may have a case, you know, might have been a bit harsh.
Aquilani close to it again, Agger close to it again. Lucas, the third part of the committee. Alberto Aquilani last scored a cup goal for Roma in the semi-final the year before last. It was a penalty that took them into the final. And now in front of the Kop, he has a chance to break his Liverpool duck. Aquilani into the wall, and Agger with power, but without precision.
Yeah, he didn't strike it cleanly, Agger. I mean, again, it's not the greatest set piece. We've seen a couple go into the wall now, you know, breaks lovely onto the left foot, and it's Kaut who can't quite redirect it. He got a touch.
Reading's next change involves the introduction of Mali's Jimmy Kebe. Comes on in place of Gregor's Raziak. Big hold-up man will hold up no more. His mobility and directness is something to which those Reading folk now look. Hasn't scored since September. It would be a bad time to score again.
And Raziak, when you look back to that chance he had, Peter, the first real one of the match, on the left foot as well, and you're thinking, go on, smash it in, and he made a bit of a meal of it.
Kebe has come in on the left side, McAnuff on the right, supporting Church through the middle. Sigurdsson just off Church now.
Yeah, he's just tucked in, Sigurdsson.
Howard looking to dictate all of that from the sort of depth out of which he is going to strike this free kick. "6'1" Jimmy Kebe, plenty of him to aim at. In by Howard. Oh! Ingemarsen was close.
Oh, I can't believe he hasn't got something on it. I mean, what a ball in again. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. It's a peach of a delivery. Oh, I mean, can he just throw himself a little bit more at that, Ingemarsen? Oh, he can't believe it either.
kept it in for Deggan. Carragher again. And gone. Mills penalised right on halfway.
That was awkward, could have been nasty.
Seems to be okay, Brynjar Gunnarsson, who has a bit of history with Liverpool, with various clubs, various competitions. He did score a Premier League goal for Reading against Liverpool. He was in a Stoke team which lost 8-0 in the League Cup to Liverpool. He was in a Watford team which played them in a two-legged League Cup semi-final a couple of years ago. It's been around a while. Haga. Sua. Benayoun. Aquilani. Smashed out by Mills.
Well, that's Reading's problem. Peter just can't get out in this second half. You know, it's not sticking up there. Anytime they get it upfield, it's pretty much just back with Liverpool and coming back into their half again.
Posted forward by Carragher. Gog is prepared to run but won't get there. There's a bit of something coming out of the skies again. Not as much as there was earlier this afternoon when it snowed properly for a little while. That became fairly thin sleet. That's more or less what we have once more. Compared to everything we've all experienced right up and down the country over the last week or two. Deggan. Haga. Benayoun to challenge well. Lucas. Have nowhere to go.
Yeah, had to be a free kick. It just came a little late, the whistle.
Well, Count is sniffing something here, and Federici is snuffing it out.
Keeper's done really well there, Peter, to anticipate that.
Smash back forward by Nsua. There's enough on it to please the Australian goalkeeper. Gunnarsson. More than 20 minutes to go at Anfield. Liverpool's lead is as slender as a most unfortunate own goal turned in by Ryan Bertrand in the closing seconds of first half stoppage time as a result of a thrust into the box by Steven Gerrard, who has since departed. If you're joining us late, Fernando Torres had to pull out prematurely as well. Those are the clouds for Liverpool, surrounded by the silver lining, which is their slender lead.
Yeah, and you know, despite looking comfortable in the second half, Liverpool, they could do with that second, because, you know, look at Ingemarsson's chance just a moment or two ago.
Aquilani found Benayoun. In went Aquilani and skewed his header wide.
Well, that should have been it. I mean, look at his reaction. I don't think it's because he's got a sore face on this, or maybe it is, maybe he did catch him on the face, the ball, but this should be in the back of the net. That's a great little ball in, and I just can't believe he's got it that wrong, Aquilani. Just needs a little flick towards goal. I think Federici's struggling and ended up in a great clearance.
Well, he, of course, is feeling his way back, just as he was this time last year, whilst still in Italy. He was returning at the start of the year from a 3-month layoff, played for Roma against Milan, and he was out injured again by February. Hasn't scored a goal since September of 2008 in domestic football for Roma against Regina. Lucas. Thought of something fancy.
Yeah, just needed to get hold of it. But, you know, just as we have seen on the other side, McDermott has not really run at Insua. It's the same since Babel's come on. He's not really had a chance to take Bertrand on, get to the byline, see what he can pull back.
Kebe.
Offside.
Forward by Bertrand.
Flags up.
Flag is up, and I'll tell you about another goal at St James's Park. Newcastle are more or less home and dry. Peter Lovenkrands has scored a hat-trick. Newcastle 3, Plymouth 0, which leads me to point you towards our website, itv.com/football, on which you can see this week all of the goals scored in the Eon-sponsored FA Cup third-round replays. We've also, by the way, started up a podcast over the last week or two, where 2 or 3 of us get together and have a little bit of football pub chat, last half an hour or so, and you might find it diverting. All of that on itv.com/football. Moved forward by Goodison. Insua.
He's come into it much more as the second half as well. Benayoun didn't see much of him in the first 45, but he's been busier. That's a good ball. Offside though, almost.
He has played a more instrumental part, Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah, that's a good call, right call. They stepped up, knew what they were doing, Reading.
Scored in the FA Cup since getting a hat-trick, which is rather forgotten amidst all the romance of the tie against Havant and Waterlooville. He scored 3 in that game. Cout over the top, and Gog onside. Benayoun there to support, Babel in the middle, and Aquilani. This is Aquilani. Went over Goodison, referee was well positioned and happy. Church, now McAnuff, at full tilt. Church through the middle. And Agger across to splendid effect.
Good challenge. Right foot as well, Daniel Agger. Just had enough in him to get there. Deny McAnuff.
Karachan. Out by Carragher, down by Insua. Lifted high by Agger, forward again by Karachan. Protection from Lucas and hit by Howard.
Yeah, referee says came off the shoulder. Liverpool players were appealing for little use of the arm. Yeah, just the Cout ball as well through for Ngog before just pushed him a little wide, didn't it? You know, a little more central, and Ngog can have a little run on goal himself. In the end, he has to try and look and find Aquilani, and went down a little too softly for me in the box.
Federici was helpless in the concession of the Liverpool goal. Which still doesn't leave Rafa Benitez feeling entirely comfortable. Federici, a keeper who really came to the fore in the FA Cup with a terrific performance against Manchester United a year or 2 back at Old Trafford. Kebe. That's down off Carragher and worked out nicely for Babel. Although Bent has run well, and the flag has stayed down. Mills has come across to meet him. Babel's in the middle. Mills stood his ground and is penalised.
Yeah, I think Mills is kind of looking at the referee saying, well, look, I just stood there and he ran into me. I didn't do an awful lot wrong again. Just tries to flick it past him.
He's got to walk away though, Matt Mills. He is already in the book. Less than a quarter of an hour to play. Cop end, Anfield. Liverpool with a slim lead, but with a free kick. Alberto Aquilani. Nicked away well by Mills.
It was. Good ball in. Well, I mean, Liverpool are frustrated as well by that decision. Referee thinks it's come off a Liverpool head, far post. But just watch Matt Mills. Yeah,
No question. And a good sturdy game from a Southampton trainee who had a moment or two on the books of Manchester City. Bertrand. Kebe. Karachan. There was outnumbered. The throw is Liverpool's. Got the weekend off Lucas. Still playing Tottenham. He celebrated his 23rd birthday on Saturday. She didn't want that there. Dug it out left-footed. This is all that separates them.
Yeah, just a little ball across the 6-yard box from Gerrard, and a big stroke of luck for Liverpool coming off the left back. Bertrand, very unlucky, not a lot he could do about it.
Goes around, comes around. All Liverpool supporters remember with horror as Emerson goes across in front of them, gone. Their expulsion from the FA Cup at Burnley a year or two back, and that was courtesy of a rather odd own goal from a left full-back, Jimmy Traore. They say, rightly or wrongly, that was the night Rafa Benitez learned about the FA Cup and its importance.
Yeah, I think he learned about the passion that's in it. Some clubs, Burnley certainly produced it that night.
Burnley will be Liverpool's next FA Cup opponents, unless Reading, who are about to bring on Shane Long, as you saw, unless Reading can score very soon.
I mean, you would think, judging by what we saw second half as well, Peter, that their best chance is going to come if they can get a free kick or a corner, you know, and get that good supply into the box that they've produced for most of the match.
Degan. Aquilani didn't reach Cow. Here goes McAnuff, running at the heart of them now, Joby McAnuff, and still McAnuff! Oh, he couldn't finish what would have been a wonderful goal. Watch this game as a neutral, and you had to be pining for that ball to roll in, because what went before the finish was world class.
I remember Walcott not so long ago doing something similar. This is absolutely brilliant. The defending's not the best. I'm just talking about maybe the best chance is going to be a set piece, but this is an absolutely fantastic run. Everything perfect, and he's just got it wrong. He's looked to place it. I know it's easy from here. A little dink. Well, the keeper was down early, you know. Cavalieri. Oh, what a chance.
What a chance to score. I don't know whether I'm guilty of hyperbole here, to score what might well have been one of the great FA Cup goals. I mean, you think of Giggs at Villa Park, you know, he's run from halfway right through the heart of Liverpool's defence, and will regret that for a long, long time to come. Sigurdsson withdrawn, Shane Long comes on in his stead. Hasn't scored in 14 games this season.
I think, yeah, Sigurdsson there. Karajan, I think, has gone off. But, you know, they've reverted now back to the 4-4-2 again, Peter. Church and Long are going to see the game out. It's two strikers as a pair up front.
And there he is, Karajan sat down with his head in his hands momentarily. What a moment that might have been, and he knows it. Howard's free kick. Carragher's header out. Howard again. Up gets Mills. Cleared by Lucas. Bertrand stops Babel from making any progress. Brian McDermott has no reason to feel anything other than pride at the way his team have performed here tonight. Doesn't mean that he won't feel regret if they get beaten. Given Raziak's first half chance, and given Church's first half chance, and given McAnuff's extraordinary run, which led to the best chance Reading have had in the second half, and given the misfortune that befell Reading in the concession of the goal just before half-time. Plenty of reasons for regret. He will feel those. It's hard to apportion any blame because it was a self-made moment.
Yeah. But you could see the annoyance. I mean, the way he kind of dwelt on it afterwards. It would have been a worldie had he took that away.
Ingemarson.
I think you're right, Peter. Whatever happens from here, I think McDermott will have an awful lot of pride in him again, as he did first time round. You know, the chances, when you look back again, Raziak, Church, and now McAnuff.
Bertrand. Kebe. Jimmy Kebe. Kind deflection for him. Might have been what was in order for Reading, but Agger got plenty of his head on it and is still feeling it. Reading supporters now in good voice. You have to be a core supporter to be at Anfield on a cold night like this, given the travel conditions between here and Royal Berkshire. But, 800 or so have made it, and now are making themselves heard. Haven't had too much to cheer this year. Some of them aware of the road conditions, and perhaps fearing the worst now, a little pessimistically on their way home. I wouldn't be going at 1-0 down, or are they? Just might miss the moment. By Kaut on Ingemarson, who waves his colleagues forward and invites Federici to hit the free kick. Aimed at Long. Taken from him by Nsua. Very late goals in the FA Cup last night at Derby and at Coventry. And Reading are looking for one now. Goodison. And Church over.
Oh, he just mistimes the jump. But that's another tremendous ball in from Goodison. And again, you can see the anger in the reaction from Church. Look, completely unpicked up. Nobody got even close to him, and he should be doing an awful lot better there, Simon Church. Maybe it's just slightly too high for him and he can't reach. But how many times, Brian McDermott must be thinking, how many times?
Five minutes to continue believing for Reading folk. What is developing into a real might-have-been night. Still with the capacity to be an actually happened night. Time is short now. Benitez eager to be organised. He spoke about attitude going into this match. Attitude and no mistakes. Saying that Church header reminds me Liverpool might easily have won the first game. Torres had a very similar header right at the end of the game at Medeski, didn't he?
Yeah. I suppose you look back as well, the Aquilani chance. You know, he had a good chance to get a second, the header.
Aquilani, Benayoun, Nsua. Aquilani caught on it. Howard searching, broken up by Lucas. Kaut emerges from the crowd scene with the ball. Benayoun one way, Babel and Ngog the other. Pumped up into the air by Ingemarson. First timed header from Benayoun. Joby McAnuff. McAnuff, go on, do it again.
Just overhit that one.
And a chance to point you in the direction of our Ian-sponsored man of the match, nominated by Steve Coppell, his former manager, Ivar Ingemarsen. In fact, it was Steve Coppell's first purchase as Reading manager all those years ago, and who has been a rock since then throughout their climb to the top, and certainly a rock for them here tonight. His contract's coming towards its end now, Ivar Ingemarsen. There is some conjecture about whether he will remain a Reading player beyond this season.
He and Mills have battled really hard tonight, done extremely well.
So Reading are hitting that point in their history, which has hit a few over recent years, where they know parachute payments stop after this season, after their drop out of the Premier League, and they have to adjust their wages accordingly. And the more expensively paid players have a problem. Bubble and Couch.
Well, the big appeal, as you'd expect, the Cop end for a penalty. It does catch him on the arm, Bertrand, but can he get out of the way? I mean, Dirk Kuyt's not that far away from, you know, the arm is sticking out, but for me, he is not trying to play that at all, and it's just struck him. And for me, correct decision.
A little half smile from a player who has good reason to grimace about this evening. And he got away with this one. It's Lucas with the corner, and Shane Long with the header out. And Liverpool are nearly there.
Well, if Reading are to exit the FA Cup here in Anfield, Peter, they've got to take great heart from these meetings against Liverpool, and surely it stands them in good stead for getting away from the trouble zone at the moment in the Championship. Surely this side can't go down playing like this.
21st in the Championship, Reading, under Brendan Rodgers, and more recently Brian McDermott. So they have shown great togetherness, no little poise, no sense at all in either game of them being overwhelmed or overawed by the players they've come up against. And one lucky break has gone Liverpool's way tonight. 3 minutes to add on. Lucas has found Benayoun. One-time tackle by Gunnarsson.
There's another guy who's played well tonight on that right side, Gunnarsson.
Three extra minutes.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes added time. 3 minutes.
Hoisted forward by Federici. Up goes Long. In went Sigurdsson. Last man back is the man of the match, Ingemarsen. Aimed up at Mills, who's centre forward now. Chased up by Howard. And hit by Sigurdsson! And clawed out by Cavalieri. Church. McAnuff. Referee has called a halt.
Keeper did well, Cavalieri, because he's read it. As soon as it falls to Sigurdsson, I think he knew he was going for the little curler, and it's not right in the corner, is it? And the offside was given because, you know, once it comes back out, Reading had a player in there as the shot was struck. Decision's gone against them. Just here it is again. This is the little offside, and that is correct too.
Goal would have counted though. Important save from Cavalieri.
It was. I think he's just glad not to have to be stretching for it then, the Brazilian.
Well, I think it will have been worth the journey for those Reading fans. Certainly will, if the team can pull a rabbit out of the hat now. Mills has won his header. Church kept it in. Kebe loaded it in. Aquilani headed away. All hands on deck now for Liverpool.
Yeah, but terrific spirit from Reading, great attitude.
Bertrand's throw. It's come to Sigurdsson. Long's gone over. Penalty! 92 minutes. Phil Dowd points to the spot.
Well, there is a touch on Long, but for me, Long's going down very, very easily and looking for it. Benayoun's just kicked him on the back, and he makes the most of it. It's one of those, well, I feel the contact, I'm going to go down. We're at that stage in the cup tie, I'm going to take my chances, and it's worked a treat for Long. Benayoun can't believe it. He does make contact, but Long's happy to go with it.
The cup tie comes down to one kick of the football. Gylfi Sigurdsson, Reading's top scorer. Diego Cavalieri, Liverpool's stand-in goalkeeper, to stay alive in the cup. One kick. A royal kick! There's more in Reading yet! The last kick! Until 30 minutes more.
This is impressive as well. However it came about, I mean, that is really, really cool from Sigurdsson. Just waited, allowed Cavalieri to go to his left, and he's gone to the keeper's other side. And delirious now, all worth it. And do you know what, Peter, as well, you think Liverpool had found a comfort zone second half, but credit to this team, they just would not give up, they wouldn't go away.
The cup's doing its thing again, now it's doing it at Anfield. Church is chasing, Cavalieri will come to collect. Phil Dowd knows that stoppage time came to its scheduled end as Sigurdsson found the net. Stoppage time at the end of stoppage time. And Gog battling for it. And Gog. Benayoun. Aquilani. Enough, but only for now. There will be more, and Reading merited that. Gylfi Sigurdsson's penalty. It's 1-1. Extra time is required.
Well, Liverpool may have the odd complaint about the penalty, but they can have no complaints at all about the score as it stands after 90 minutes here at Anfield. Extra time is no more than Reading deserve, and we'll be back with all the action in a few minutes.
Overtime at Anfield. Reading finally got their break as late as it could possibly come. And this cup tie finished after 90 minutes at Anfield, just as it finished after 90 minutes at the Medeski 11 days ago. One each. We have 30 minutes to find a winning goal, and if we fail to do that, then we have a penalty shootout. Two issues, Jim Beglin, once we've sorted out a little bit of housekeeping, and that is that you'll see there Martin Skirtle has come on. Jamie Carragher's run to right back, and Philip Deggan has gone off. Two issues are, one, was it a penalty? And two, how much did Reading deserve it?
Oh, Reading deserved it for me. I think Reading have been brilliant again. I mean, I can't praise them highly enough because the chances they created in the game were very, very good, and you're just thinking it's not going to be their night, they're not going to put one away. In terms of the penalty, it's going to be debated long and hard. I think most players in that position, if they feel any contact, they're going to go down.
Benayoun, good tackle, Mills. Insua. Round the back was Count, so a really important header away from Bertrand. It's Lucas. Count. Carragher. Header out by Gunnarsson. McDermott will feel more relieved than anyone that the penalty was dispatched.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm going to say, I'm not condoning simulation, but it is a huge part of the modern game. It goes on all the time, contact is exaggerated, and that's exactly what Shane Long has done. In my opinion, yes, he could have stayed on his feet, but there was no way he was going to in the circumstances.
Aquilani, Couch, and Gog. Seen again by Goodison, who's a sage old player these days. McDermott looking to frighten Lucas and face up to Insua. Looked to squeeze between the pair of them and lost his balance, didn't get a free kick.
Yeah, he seemed to kind of clip Insua rather than Insua playing him.
The optimism of the Reading supporters after they got that equaliser. Once the final whistle had gone, they started singing "Que sera, sera," we're going to Wembley. Quite that straightforward, but they've still got a chance of going to Wembley. Goodison aimed at Long, who won the penalty. Confirmation of Martin Skirtle's arrival for extra time. For Count. Dirk Count again. And he's gone over and he's got himself a free kick, which is disputed as hotly by Reading as Reading's penalty was by Liverpool.
Yeah, it's just a little leg out from Sigurdsson that seemed to just clip Count around the thigh and cause them to go over. I think the new Burnley manager is gone as well, Peter. He still hasn't a clue who he's going to face, where he's going next round.
I suppose in recent times he'll have seen more of Reading than he will of Liverpool. A bit about Benayoun over a set piece. Haggers there too, and Lucas. Aquilani has left this one alone. Haggers hit it. Did get a deflection, quite a hefty one. Federici watched it wide.
That's good closing down, and it was very well worked by Liverpool. McDermott, good block.
Aquilani's take. Got away with his original miscue. It was him, the young Irish substitute, who won the penalty on the challenge from Yossi Benayoun. Carragher's throw. Count's touch. Barble. Gog.
I think we saw it last night as well at Coventry. Peter, the last-minute equaliser from Portsmouth, the momentum shifted. They came on stronger. I wonder, will it repeat itself?
Aquilani. Sua. Gog, Barble, Count. Away by Mills, touch back by Church, and here goes Jimmy Kebe. Merchant going beyond him from full back. Away from Lucas, he's passed it to Benayoun. And now Barble. Goodison. Tackle by Long. For Liverpool, that Skirtle saw Church over his shoulder.
Yeah, that danger is there all the while for Reading on the break, because since Long's come on, you've got his pace now to go with McDermott on the right side, and Church is always willing. He's got the appetite for it. And Liverpool have got to be very, very careful of that.
Coaxed in by Couch. By Goodison, it's come to Insua. McAnuff's back helping. It came to Barbel, who fired straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, I mean, Reading wanted a free kick from the referee, felt that Barbel used his hands. It just wasn't quite there for him to hit with his left foot, which he wanted to do. I mean, not a foul for me, but anywhere towards the corner then, and Barbel's got a chance. It's at the keeper.
Church. Very last off Skirtle.
Message from Mike and Ryan to go to the Lake Street gate, please, and meet the steward who will take him to be reunited with Colin Ryan, who was at the Anfield Borough First Aid Post. To Mike and Ryan, please, to the Lake Street gate.
Reluctance from behind the goal to return the ball. And has it now. Going back to Bertrand, who went over. Free kick given by Phil Dowd. Let's get down to the touchline. Gabriel Clark was close to the Reading party preparing for extra time. Gabriel.
Well, Brian McDermott, as you can imagine, please, are absolutely pumped with adrenaline. No doubt in his mind it was a penalty. His message to his players is with old-fashioned words: keep your discipline, keep your shape and go for the win, because he feels there's a real anxiety about Liverpool. He doesn't want his players sitting back now, starting to think about penalty kicks. He wants them to try and push for the win. Easier said than done, of course. Liverpool appear to have upped it, but that's the message from the Reading bench.
Gabriel, it certainly makes sense for Reading to go for it in view of Liverpool's extraordinary record in penalty shootouts, but we'll come to that if necessary.
By the way, remember, he's chasing this job full time.
Through by Long, pursued by Church. Incidentally, a statistical oddity. 5 of Reading's last 6 games at 90 minutes have now finished 1-1. 1-1 is becoming Brian McDermott's stock result. He still hasn't won as the Reading manager.
Kevin and McAnuff have swapped.
So they're looking to worry Insua in the way McAnuff has from time to time, consistently in the first game. Throw. Away from Insua. In by Goodison! And in by Long! And Reading lead at Anfield! They have stolen the tie back! And now it's theirs to lose!
Well, we've spoken over the 2 games about their ball into the box, and, you know, it's been outstanding. And just the little nutmegs here from Gunnarson's absolutely brilliant. What about the ball in? I mean, Long can't really miss, but that's lovely composure. Little nutmegs there, and Insua, who's done too easily, and Long tucks it away beautifully. And well, this is the last thing Rafa Benitez needs at the moment, the way the season's going. Incredible.
Shane Long's first goal of a barren season, and he's only gone and scored it in front of the Kop. And Brian McDermott, this time it did go in for him. 30 seconds away from going out of the Cup. Reading are now 20 minutes away from beating Liverpool at Anfield.
Well, just as Gabriel spoke about as well, McDermott's words, they still had the courage of their convictions. We're still going forward, looking for that lead goal, and they've got it. And now he needs somebody to pull him out, doesn't he, Rafa Benitez? No Gerrard, no Torres. Who's going to do it for him?
Perhaps Barbel. Hard in at the back of McAnuff. Free kick has gone Liverpool's way. This FA Cup just doesn't know when to stop. We had a almost newsless third round Saturday, and then Leeds went and won at Old Trafford. And now Reading, having trailed at Anfield, lead in extra time. It doesn't let you down. Carragher's ball in. Agger. Confirmation that Ivar Ingemarsen picked up a yellow card there. More urgently, Liverpool have a throw. Lashed away by Howard. Only Church is forward. Sigurdsson, what a cool penalty it was from the Icelandic player to cause this period of extra time. Forward by McAnuff, welcomed in by Church. Comfortable gather for Cavalieri, and now it is Liverpool doing everything in a hurry. With an uncomplicated urgency. With a bash-it-forward necessity. Kebe, fouled by Aquilani. He's finding out about the FA Cup pretty quickly. He found out about it in similar circumstances against Burnley some years back. He has since lost to Barnsley on this ground. Forward by Gunnarsson. Long. Kebe. Up gets Howard. It's come to McAnuff. It's come to Church, against whom the flag is raised.
Yeah, I mean, look at McAnuff's reaction again. He knows that it was there for him to hit better than that, and he's ended up knocking it into the ground. But again, the ball in was threatening.
2 years ago in the 5th round, Liverpool led against Barnsley and lost. 5 years ago at Burnley, they lost to an own goal. In 2003, they lost here at home to Crystal Palace. And they are losing again now in the Cup against supposed inferiors, who over 2 games simply have not been inferior. Steven Gerrard, only able to play the first half here, watches with angst. Insua, Ngog, Insua. Watched behind by Gunnarsson.
Yeah, just looking at Stevie Gerrard as well. When Liverpool last won it, it was Steven Gerrard was the hero on the day, wasn't he? And you know, they really could do him on the pitch now to try and pull something big out again. Might have been just a little touch just at the end there from Gunnarsson, hard to spot.
No, Gerrard got that very famous, very late goal against West Ham at Cardiff. And by coincidence, the 4th official that day was tonight's referee, Phil Dowd, who gave that very late penalty to Reading. I was talking to him about it just before the game, and he was saying he remembers holding up the board for stoppage time. Benayoun is onside here for Liverpool. Flag stays down, and Benayoun is thwarted by Federici. Kebe away. Well, the Aussie goalkeeper did really well to get his angles right there, but you backed Benayoun to score.
Well, I'm thinking he's just going to slot it, or he's going to dink it over him, and they just get cut square. Reading looks maybe in line. I think left back Bertrand's keeping him on, and you're thinking he's just going to tuck it away, and I think the goalkeeper does really well because he stays up as long as he can, waits for Benayoun, and to be fair, he's just fired it at him, hasn't he? He's helped Federici's cause. But just when he backtracked after making a save, Federici, he's so pumped, delighted with himself for pulling that off. Crucial.
He was so disappointed to have to go off the Saturday before last. Finish the story, by the way, fairly obvious ending. Phil Dowd remembers lifting the board at Cardiff that famous day against West Ham, and looking up to see Gerrard firing that goal that broke claret and blue hearts. It's Liverpool's hearts which are feeling the pressure at the moment here, though, because of that man, Shane Long, whose header after 100 minutes means that Reading lead with 15 minutes of extra time to play.
Well, it's amazing stuff, isn't it? Watching it with Andy Townsend and also with Steve Coppell. And Steve, from whatever happens from this point on, you must be mighty proud of your old side.
Yeah, very proud and deserved. I don't think anyone can question the way they've approached the game, and having got the goal up right in the last minute in the first period of extra time, they've looked the more likely. Again, defended in a very composed manner. Federici there, right, the last man standing. You look the way he spread as a goalkeeper in that 1v1 situation. He made it very difficult for Benayoun, but it was a poor shot, to be fair.
Your old mate Brian McDermott certainly looks pumped up. Rafa Benitez looks a very anxious man indeed. Let's take you straight into the second period of extra time. We're back with Jim and with Peter Drury.
Well, fair play to the Liverpool supporters. They really are excellent. Despite their evident disappointment, they have started the second half of extra time, exhorting their team to greater things. Terrific noise rolling down from the Kop now. They do get behind the team when it matters. The cross-examination can wait till later. Here is Insua. Away from Sigurdsson, but not from Goodison. And out comes Kebe, and he's got an awful lot of acreage to run into here. And Church through the middle, and Long through the middle, and Howard through the middle. And he's got away from Aquilani. It's Jimmy Kebe, and it's Daniel Agger away.
Oh, he did extremely well to get that far. I mean, I thought Insua should have hit it, you know, just dwelt on it and allowed Reading to nick it off him, and he goes past Aquilani with ease, trying to tackle with his wrong foot. Aquilani, not the best ball in. He's delivered better than that, Kebe.
Long turning, Skirtle away from Church. Tackle from Goodison. I think he's been splendid. There he goes again. Agger away. He's facing his own goal, hooking it away from Benayoun on Gog. Kebe. Playing for fun now with Church. Long's after this, Cavalieri's come to gather.
You know, and I mean, still looking to go forward, Reading, as well. It's not as if they're just trying to compress the midfield onto the back four and settle for it. They're still looking to add to it.
Carragher, Count, Carragher, clear of Bertrand, in goes Ngog, out goes Bertrand, corner Liverpool in front of the Kop.
So, you know, in many ways Ngog got in the way there because Aquilani was in a cracking position just behind him, could have come straight on and hit it. But Carragher, you don't think that's his game, bombing forward in the right back position, a la Degan, but it's got to be done there.
They all have to now. In the Anfield air, Cup desperation. Long's header out from the near post.
Not the greatest ball in from Lucas. He knows it. Got to beat the first man.
Benayoun. Lucas. In goes Aquilani. Over goes Aquilani. The Kop cries. The referee looks away.
Well, was he been held and denied a chance from jumping? I mean, he wants a penalty, Aquilani. He has been held, you know. He is. Arms gone out in front. Probably not enough.
On by Benayoun. Out by McAnuff. Awkward bounce for Agger. Calmness from Skirtle. Insua. The only domestic prize Liverpool probably have left to win. In by Carragher. Agger. Bubbles header. Aquilani pursuing it. Insua pursuing it. High from Goodison. And he kept it from going behind, and he bashed it up towards the halfway line. And you've heard lines like this before on famous FA Cup replay nights, but it is mine to instruct you that the news will follow the end of this game. ITV News once all of this drama has finished. Count climbing, Federici claiming.
Oh man, anytime you can come and do that now, it's a big relief for that defence.
Insua, stealing it from Kebe. Rolled forward for Ngog. Benayoun breaking ahead of him. Ball was played outside of the Israeli.
Oh, you could just hear the disappointment from the Kop as soon as that ball went astray from Ngog, not finding Benayoun. Probably prayer time now, isn't it?
It is prayer time. They have a church in one of the cathedrals of the game. Here's Carragher!
Well, that would have been a story, wouldn't it? I think he's right to have a pop. You know, it fell beautifully for Jamie Carragher. Never really caught it right. He's gone across it, sliced it.
This is his 34th FA Cup tie, and he is yet to score in the competition. Hasn't scored in any competition for just more than 3 years. Kebe. Sigurdsson. Gunnarsson. Followed by Aquilani. Slightly awkward for Mills. Taken down by Babel. Insua. Away by McAnuff.
Ingemarson again with the header, and he just got the poke away from Babel before. Just to back up his man of the match award.
Count. Lucas. Not over yet. And Ngog fluffed it.
Do you know, he had a little more time than he realised. And Ngog, he's trying to hit it on the turn, but he's in quite a bit of space, and he just has no idea once it's worked into him. Just look at the space he's got. He can take a touch and just wait a second longer and then dispatch it, but he's just gone and rushed it and scuffed it.
In 2010, potentially, the two great third-round stories at Old Trafford and Anfield. Leeds did it in one game, Reading threatening to do it in 2 games and a bit. One way or another, they're staring at the possibility of Manchester United and Liverpool both falling at the first hurdle. But there are 8 minutes to play yet. Gunnarsson. Kebe. Gunnarsson, tidy feet. Lucas shielding the Liverpool penalty area. Forward by Insua. Header out by Ingemarson, down by Babel for Count. It's Dirk Count. Through the legs of Bertrand, but not through those of Federici.
No, I mean, it's well struck by Dirk Kuyt, but you know, it's always at the goalkeeper again. It's fairly comfortable for him on one knee, Federici, no problem.
Well, Federici, mentioned earlier, he made his name in a 5th round cup tie at Old Trafford 3 years ago, and he was understudy to Marcus Hahnemann. He's the main man now, and showing why.
Just wonder in the next couple of minutes or so whether Liverpool will take a gamble and just throw in the centre-backs up. But now Brian McDermott, he's just, can they hold on for dear life? That's all he's hoping. Just see it out.
Couch. Cup tie on the edge. Carragher having to gallop again into nosebleed territory for him. Couch. All or nothing now for Liverpool. In terms of domestic prizes, probably literally nothing.
That was a bit ambitious for Couch. He's looking for Carragher in over the top, but you know, even if he has run round the back, it's going to skid away and run out. Do you know the fact as well that they've kept Church and Long there, they've kept 2 strikers, Reading all the way through it now. As to whether that's preventing Agger or Skirtle from thinking about maybe having a little shufty up the other end.
Well, sooner or later they're going to have to go anyway, aren't they?
One of them's got to go, surely, yeah.
Living on their nerves. losing their nails, patting themselves on the back for bothering to come through the snow. They're 5 minutes away from an I was there night. Reading have only ever lost at Anfield before. McDermott. Church. Is it corner flag time? He's got 5 minutes to stay down there. Aquilani clear. Chases on for Babel. Mills is staying with him. Federici came to get the ball. Liverpool have been knocked out of the FA Cup in Liverpool in each of the last 3 seasons. By Arsenal here in 2007, by Barnsley here in 2008, and by Everton at Goodison last year. Also in extra time. Aquilani. Benayoun's header hit Goodison. Nothing given.
Well, you know the appeals at that end now are going to be as vociferous as they come. I mean, it does strike him on the arm, or does it? No, it's chest. It's chest. But that's where we're at.
Long's won his header. Agger's won his header. Long's taken it back. Sigurdsson. Goodison. Church is onside. He's looking tired now.
Yeah, well, and so he should be, because he's hardly stopped. And I think, you know, just as we saw what happened when Shane Long went down as well, Peter, I think Reading have got to be very, very careful of not making any contact now if Liverpool can get the ball into the box. Ball was rolling, I think, when he struck it.
Anfield swathed in scarves and anxiety. Feeling pain. A 12-point deficit in the Premier League. No more Champions League. Out of the League Cup to a young Arsenal side. And that's how it feels to be caught up in the emotion of all of that. Three minutes to play, plus stoppage time, and stoppage time has, over these 2 nights of cup replays, proved itself a pretty significant period. It really ain't over till it's over in the cup. Taking too much time. Goodison's been booked for that. Takes the free kick now. Thrashed forward by Aquilani. Across his own box by Mills. Federici must have felt twitchy for a moment. Goodison's yellow card for time wasting. It'll be time well wasted if they hang on and win the tie. Church. McDermott getting caught up with Church.
That's okay, that's just all Reading intended, just to kind of run another few seconds off the clock. Just one more chance, that's all Rafa Benitez wants, one more chance. Happy to go to penalties. McDermott desperate to hang on.
Happy to go to penalties because Liverpool win at penalties. Almost as good as Germany, Liverpool. They may not get the chance. They have to find a goal in open play in 90 seconds. Carragher. It's a good ball. Benayoun let it roll. Babel. It's come out for Howard, and Reading have 4 on 2 here. Kebe one way, Church the other, long forward as well. Howard has found Jimmy Kebe. And Agger sees it behind.
The first touch killed him, Kebe. And then if he gets the first touch right, he can smash it.
Tie should be over. Kebe is still lying down in the Liverpool penalty area. Liverpool aren't waiting to show him any attention.
Well, from this throw, and Liverpool just got to get it in the box.
Nobody's taking any notice at all of Jimmy Kebe. Here is Benayoun, and here is Insua, and in goes Lucas. The flag was up, wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, he's not in position either. Can't quite reach it. By the time he gets there, it's almost just beyond him. When Insua just dinks it in, and it's a good call because he is half a yard off.
Well, Liverpool aren't thinking this way, but God bless it, the good old FA Cup has done its stuff again here tonight. Stoppage time at the end of extra time. Tears time. An unhappy year for Liverpool.
2 minutes.
2 minutes added on at the end of the last 15.
Well, this competition's been chipped away at over the years, hasn't it? But it still produces some magic.
Church just has not stopped running.
Been a phenomenal display from Reading. Peter, if they can hold on, I don't take any satisfaction in seeing my old club in this position either.
There'll be inquests, Jim, won't there? There will be inquests. Out by Ingemarson. Nakanoff. Bosh. That'll do from Howard. You know what they're like in this neck of the woods, Jim. My word, there'll be questions asked after this as the last domestic prize gets away.
Of course, because of what's happened in the Champions League and the Premier League, this became more important.
In by Agger. Out by Ingemarson. Anywhere will do for Long. Anywhere will do. Howard. 40 seconds to play. Couldn't find McAnuff. Last chance Liverpool. Count. Clear of Bertrand. Carragher has to get this right. Benayoun calling for it. Kebby back defending. Long's miss kick. Sigurdsson forward. That might win the game. Perhaps one last opportunity for Liverpool to load it in. 10 seconds and counting. In by Agger, up gets Federici. What a catch that is. A catch to win a cup tie.
Well, it should be enough. It should be enough. I mean, it was always just a little long in favouring the goalkeeper, but absolutely delighted Reading will be with that. Is this it?
No more time. Liverpool folk on their way home. Reading folk could dance all night. They could dance all night. The result of their dreams. Reading's fantasy fulfilled in front of a disbelieving Kop. The Royals win at Anfield for the first time ever and leave Liverpool bereft. The Cup has confounded logic again. Another set of dreams from below stairs. Another set of dreamers have stormed another millionaire mansion and made off with the remains of some mighty reputations. Where to for Liverpool now? A 12-point deficit in the Premier League, evicted from the Champions League, and tonight for the third year in 6, kicked out of the Cup by a Championship club. Yet another prize the Reds won't win, playing second fiddle as they had to this evening to a Royals command performance. After extra time, Liverpool 1, Reading 2.
An absolutely fantastic night for Reading. Not just a richly deserved place in round 4, but also a richly deserved place in FA Cup giant-killing history. Sean Long, the man who did it. Liverpool are left to survey the wreckage of their season, and we'll absorb exactly what's happened on this dramatic night here at Anfield with Steve Coppell and Andy Townsend in a couple of minutes. For Reading, the Anfield glory they deserve. Sean Long's winner after an amazing night of extra time here. Liverpool 1, Reading 2. Reading into round 4. Liverpool into absolute despair. Sean Long and Joby McAnuff, two of the Reading heroes, are with Gabriel Clark.
Shane, Joby, very well done. First of all, the match winner, first goal of the season. You won't forget that one, will you?
No, definitely. yeah, it's a nice time to score. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, nice goal to score. Good win for the boys.
Good win?
Yeah. Great.
That's the understatement of the season.
Yeah, I think the last day we were unlucky not to win it, and today we put up a great fight in the game as well, and to get that penalty and Gylfi to slot it away like he did, and I think we deserved it today.
Well, key moment, was it a penalty? You were the man who went down. Any doubts?
No, definitely not. He was unlucky because I came from the blind side and he just caught my ankle and I went down, and it was a definite pen, but fair play to Gylfi. He's 2021 and the confidence like that to score a goal in the last minute of a game, it's a great credit to him.
Joby, I think you were one of Reading's best players over the 2 games, no doubt, but when you had that run through and you missed that chance, what are you thinking?
Well, obviously I thought at that point that's probably the best chance we're going to have to nick a goal, but luckily boys kept digging in and showed great spirit, and obviously delighted to get the penalty in and go on to win the game. So pleased that the miss didn't prove costly in the end.
Reading's first ever win at Anfield. What are you most proud of as a team as a result of this victory? What does it tell us about Reading?
Well, just obviously the character of the team. Really, we've had a tough season so far, but we've kept getting up and taking the knocks really, and showed tonight that with a bit of bottle and a bit of desire we can get a result.
And have you got the caretaker manager a job full time?
I don't know. I'd like to think so. He's a great man, and the lads want to do their best for him. I think he deserves a chance, and I think after the performance tonight, he's doing a good shout. But yeah, we've got to continue this form in the league now and pull ourselves out of this position that we're in, and because we know we're better than we are.
A bit of a celebration.
Just a little one. Got a massive game Saturday. Bit of a cliche, but we'll enjoy it tonight and then back to work really.
Well done.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Shane Long and Joby McAnuff, all very calm and composed. I'm sure you're not, Steve Coppell. What an amazing night.
Yeah, so pleased for so many people, really. The chairman, for Brian, for this to be your first win to come to Anfield. There's so many managers who've tried many, many times to get a win here, and he's come and done it, and thoroughly deserved. I think nobody could dispute that. They played terrifically well. When they did give away a break, the goalkeeper stood up in the extra time period there, and the winning goal was just fabulous for an old winger to see a cross come in like that, and the centre forward. It was a great goal to win the tie.
So much character in this Reading performance. They created chances throughout the 90 minutes. It was ironic in a way that the equaliser came in the manner in which it did. What were your feelings about the penalty?
I thought it was a penalty. I think the referee's spot on. I think Phil Dowd's got it 100% right. I think when you see it here, you'll see that there's definite contact. It doesn't have to be a knee-high scythe to floor someone to claim a penalty. I think it's actually a silly challenge from Yossi Benayoun, an experienced player. He's the wrong side, as Shane Long just said in the interview, and yet he dabs a foot out. How about this for a cool penalty? I mean, if you actually look from this reverse angle, Sigurdsson's waiting for the goalie to move. Look, I'm looking at you, I'm eyeballing you. Wait for him to dip to the left, and I'll put it to the other side. Fabulous, fabulous.
That's in the 91st minute at Anfield. Is that the kind of character he is?
Yeah, he does that in training. He's always been capable, but to have the nerve to do it, it's so much importance on that one penalty, and to stand there, stroll up to the ball while you're looking at the goalkeeper. It's so easy to fluff your lines in those circumstances. And for him, as a young player, 2021, to put it into the back of the net, fabulous.
We've seen this sort of thing before, and the script would suggest that Reading would run out of steam and Liverpool would dominate extra time. The reverse was true.
Well, Liverpool didn't do anything, really. At the start of the second half, I thought, yeah, they're getting into a rhythm. Almost with Torres and Gerrard not being there, it was almost as if the shackles came off a few players and they were beginning to play a little bit more, but they ran out of steam, and then it was more likely to be Reading. And when you're looking for that spark, we mentioned before the game, Liverpool just don't seem to have that spark at the moment. Yeah. Something which is going to excite the public here and really, make them pleased to be Liverpool fans and go towards the end of the season with confidence that they can win something.
We'll talk about exactly what this means to everyone here at Anfield in a few minutes' time, but Shane Long's winner was an absolute peach.
Brilliant goal. Sensational goal, and Gunnarsson, who has just kept going, kept motoring along. He nutmegs Insure there. I think it's the second one he did like that in the night. And the cross coming in, I mean, Steve just mentioned it. You'd be proud of a ball in like that, Steve.
Yeah, fabulous. And again, composure here. He just beats one player. The nutmeg is fabulous. All the players appreciate that. But that pace of the delivery at the near post, Shane doesn't have to do anything. Just a little bit of a direction. Goalkeeper's got no chance. The pace on the ball beats the keeper. And sweet for Shane, because he spent, this has been a difficult year for him. I think a lot of people expected him to come on a game, and he's found it hard. But hopefully that could be a foundation, a springboard for him for the rest of the season. And
Liverpool did create their chances, but there was nothing of that kind of quality ever.
Look, they were better at the start of the second half. This was the Bertrand, the left back, just stays in, and Benayoun, I fully expected him to tuck that away. Credit the goalkeeper, Federici he spreads himself. Look, the big spread arms. He does enough to see that one out. This was the penalty incident, I think, possibly on Aquilani. There is arms round him, Steve.
Yeah, I think again that was Sigurdsson. He didn't have his eye on the ball. I think that was the giveaway. But look at the position of the referee. He saw everything. Look at him now. He can't see the ball. Yeah. He's just holding him off. He's not trying to attack the ball himself. But the referee's right on the edge of the box, sees everything.
And this is Ngog, the chance. He could have given it back to Lucas. He rushes it, he scuffs it. It's anxious, it's edgy, nervy. Everything you don't want in a situation like that. You know what? And sums Liverpool up. They are wallowing along in a sea of averageness at the moment, and doesn't look like there's anything in there to snap them out of it. They're in a desperate situation.
Well, let's do something else to sum Reading up right now. Let's hear from their caretaker, Brian McDermott.
Not bad for a caretaker manager.
Yeah, a caretaker. Yeah.
Any congratulations?
No, well, I thought our guys were terrific tonight. It was a really, really good performance. I thought we was unfortunate to go in 1-0 down. We've had 3 or 4 chances that just went wide. And
what are you thinking as those chances go begging?
I think we've got to get another one. And, you always think you're going to have a chance. And if you hang in the game and you stay in the game and it's 1-0, I mean, they had a little spell of pressure just after half-time when I thought they were terrific. We had to change our shape, but, we were good value tonight, I thought.
A brave decision by the referees to give you that penalty, or a clear decision?
I don't know, to be honest. I think if it's a penalty, whatever time, he's got to give it. And I thought Gylfi took it. He was ice cool, and he does that in training. He is a cool character.
And what about the substitute, Shane Long? Great substitution.
No, he's a great lad, Shane, and I'm so pleased for him that he scored tonight. I mean, I thought Brynjar Gunnarsson was fantastic at right back. I mean, they were all terrific tonight, but a great cross, and I'm so pleased that Shane's got his goal tonight. Chuffed for him.
What chance the job full time now? Surely. Chairman said anything yet?
He's just well pleased, and he's coming back on the bus with us tonight. So.
You can have a discussion with him, maybe.
No, I'm not even worried about that tonight. That was about the players tonight. They were terrific, and I'm really pleased with the chairman as well.
First ever win at Anfield for Reading Football Club. Even Steve Coppell didn't manage one of those.
Steve got beat 9 here, by the way. But let's keep that to ourselves. I've told everyone now.
Well done tonight, Brian. Many congratulations.
No, thanks very much. Cheers.
You were going to back your old mate for the job until he said that.
No, he can't have it now. No, but he is right, 9-0. So it's sweet. It was sweet, and he's so pleased. He's keeping the lid on it there, but you can just tell it means so much to him.
He's got to get it full time now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he should do, because he's paid his dues. He's been at the club for a long time. All the players he's been a part of signing, he was the one who always welcomed the players to the club and made them feel a part of things. So I think each and every player who had the blue and white shirt on tonight would have a special place for Brian. He means a lot to them.
Well, this result will take Brian McDermott and Reading forward. Where does it leave Liverpool?
Goodness knows, Steve. They are, as I said, I haven't seen them as average looking as this for some time. And for them to be, 12 points off the top spot in the league, to be out of the Champions League, now out of the FA Cup, only with the Europa League, the old UEFA Cup to go for. Look, it's quite simply, if it's just circumstances, if it's just financial circumstances that are keeping Rafa here, quite honestly, right now, then in the past, Liverpool were always above that. It was always about doing what's right for the team and for the supporters at that particular time. If that means a manager has to go, a manager has to go. There's nothing out there. You're looking, aside of Gerrard and Torres, you're looking around, they've got very, very little else to offer. And I can't see how they peg back the likes of Villa, Tottenham and Man City at the moment. Yeah. Teams that usually are scratching to try and keep up with the likes of Liverpool, and at the moment they're way in front of them. And I think that really and truly the only obvious reaction you ever get when in a situation like this, you have to change what's happening with the management.
But the danger, I suppose, is that you overreact. How should Liverpool respond to this?
Again, I think the dust needs to settle a little bit. It's always emotional after a game like this, and you can make wrong decisions, snap decisions, but I think they do have to consider where they're going. You've got to remember tonight this was an important game for them. The FA Cup was good chance for them to win a trophy. They must have been focusing on this. The team that was picked was very much on the front foot to win the game. But again, Gerrard, Torres go off, and there doesn't seem to be the plan B. Yeah. It certainly wasn't inspiring. There'll be a lot of Liverpool fans walking away from here tonight just wondering where they're going.
Well, we still hope to get some kind of Liverpool reaction in the course of the next few minutes. After the break, though, we'll be rounding up all of this week's FA Cup action, including tonight's other replay between Newcastle and Plymouth, the all-championship tie at St James's Park. An extraordinary FA Cup night here at Anfield. Liverpool ahead against Reading into the 91st minute and then beaten 2-1 in the course of extra time. Liverpool are out of the Cup, and we can hear from Rafa Benitez.
Rafa, did you deserve any better tonight?
It's difficult to say. We had our chances, they had their chances. The penalty was a crucial decision.
Was it a penalty?
I think that we can talk about this for 1 hour if we want, but too many things that I didn't like, but we cannot change the result now, so we have to accept the situation.
You didn't think it was a penalty?
Too many things to talk about, so I know.
In terms of the referee's performance tonight, you weren't happy with that?
I could see a lot of things that I didn't like, but anyway, again, I would say we cannot change the result, so we have to move forward.
Are you saying your team were unlucky? Some would say your team tonight just weren't good enough.
At the end, we are not in the competition anymore, so we have to think about the future.
Were your team good enough tonight, though, Rafa?
Again, I would say that it depends on your point of view, but too many things that I didn't like.
Did tonight underline there is too much reliance on Torres and Gerrard, because both obviously came off?
Not really. I think we could score 1 or 2 goals without them on the pitch, so they are very important for us, but we have some players that can do a good job too.
Are too many players underperforming at the moment, or is the squad just not good enough?
I think that sometimes we are playing better, sometimes we are not playing at our level, and we know that we can improve.
In which areas, Rafa?
In some of them.
You've signed Maxi Rodriguez, that's a step forward. Does tonight underline you need more signings before the end of the transfer window?
We have signed him, and then we will see how he settles down, and after we will see we need something more.
And Torres, how badly injured is he?
We don't know. Still, we have to wait and see what the doctor say tomorrow after a scan.
Days? Weeks?
No, we don't know.
Gerrard?
The same. We have to wait. They will be a scanner tomorrow, and then we will see.
And can you understand, Rafa, you've had criticism before, there'll be more criticism now. Can you understand people questioning your position?
If the critics are fair, it's okay. If it's not, you cannot be, you cannot agree with them. But if they decide that they have to criticize, so we know that has been the same for 3 months.
Are they fair to criticize you now? Is this your lowest point here?
I think that we were trying to do our best, and you could see that we were winning, and we were trying to do this. So credit to them, because also they were working very hard and they were doing well.
You fight on.
I think that again, I would say we have to keep the confidence that we can improve.
Thank you, Rafa.
Thank you.
And Steve, he's going to feel some pressure over the next few weeks.
Yes, I think the analysis will start fairly intensively tomorrow morning. I think a lot of people will be questioning the way they play, their over-reliance on Gerrard and Torres. It seems obvious to a lot of people, and yet there doesn't seem to be any alternative, any viable alternative on the evidence of the performances this season.
OK, Liverpool with big problems. There was one other third-round replay played tonight as the Green Army had another epic journey to follow Plymouth Argyle from the snowbound West Country to Newcastle. Newcastle ahead after 12 minutes. Neat ball from Gutierrez and an equally tidy bit of finishing from Lovenkrantz. And there was a second from Lovenkrantz just before half-time, finding space in the 6-yard box. Gutierrez, again the provider, seemingly putting the tie beyond Plymouth. All of which was confirmed when midway through the second half, Lovenkrantz underlined his striker's instinct by completing a very fine hat-trick indeed. Newcastle now have a 4th-round visit to their fellow championship pace-setters, West Bromwich Albion, 3-0 to Plymouth tonight. There were 5 other FA Cup matches played last night, and here's Richard Henwood with a roundup of all the action.
A ray of hope in a difficult season for Portsmouth. They won their replay at Coventry but did it the hard way. Clive Tilsley's the commentator.
Quayner's header. Mullins, appeal for a handball, hit by Best. What a goal that is! What a goal by Leon Best! Bolt from the sky blue. Portsmouth gambling everything. Job with the head, oh, it's an own goal. Stephen Wright's turned it into his own goal off the underside of the bar. Portsmouth are on terms, and we're heading for extra time at the Ricoh. One last chance for Portsmouth to finish it here and now. Bassinas takes, it's a free header for McQuainer, and Portsmouth go through to the fourth round. Aaron McQuainer has won it.
Two of English football's form sides met at St Andrews, and in the end it was Birmingham who extended their unbeaten run to 14 matches as Barry Ferguson scored the winner and earned them a fourth-round trip to Everton. Derby have been going through a crisis of confidence, and this cup replay against Millwall was always likely to be a big test for them. So when Steve Morrison gave the League One side an extra-time lead, another depressing evening seemed to be unfolding. But Derby showed they have the stomach for a fight by forcing a penalty shootout thanks to an equaliser from Steve Davis. And they took a crucial advantage in that shootout when Millwall's Danny Schofield had his spot-kick saved by Stephen Bywater. It meant Dean Moxey could step up to win the tie for Derby, 5-3 on penalties. The Cup can bring out the best in many teams, but not QPR, it seems. They've not won a match in the competition for 9 years. Lee Williamson gave Sheffield United the lead at Loftus Road, and the home fans had that sinking feeling. Jamie Ward came off the bench to make it 2-0 with his first touch, and he hadn't finished there. His dramatic impact continued as he immediately set up Richard Cresswell for number 3. But what should have been a comfortable passage into the next round for Sheffield United turned out to be rather more anxious. QPR won a penalty when Derek Geary handled, and Akos Buzaki scored from the spot 3-1. And with just a couple of minutes left, a second home goal from Damien Stewart made things interesting, but it's Sheffield United who go through. The icy conditions were always likely to play a part at Ashton Gate, and no doubt goalkeeper Dean Gherkin will be blaming the snow for the mistake which led to Michael Chopra giving Cardiff the lead. Chopra then tangled with Bristol City manager Gary Johnson as he celebrated, but any ill feeling between the two didn't seem to last too long, which may be because the match finished all square. Substitute Gavin Williams with the equaliser, and they'll replay to see who takes on Leicester in the fourth round.
And we also now know that for the first time in 50 years, both Liverpool and Manchester United have gone out at the third round stage. Steve Coppell, thanks very much. Andy, what's your final thought about what we've seen here tonight?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on at this club that's out of Rafa's control. We know that they're in a bit of a mess upstairs, Steve, but the truth be known, they're in a bigger mess on the field, and I'm afraid that's the only way you can look at it.
OK, boys, thanks very much indeed. Extraordinary night. We've got the pick of the fourth round with 4 outstanding live matches coming up the weekend after next. Saturday the 23rd, lunchtime match, Preston against Chelsea. That'll be followed by Spurs against Leeds later on, with a full highlights roundup at the end of the evening. Then Stoke versus Arsenal, Scunthorpe against Manchester City, and the fifth round draw, all on Sunday. And after an amazing night at Anfield, it's Reading who have a fourth round home tie with Burnley. They leave Anfield as mighty giant killers. They leave Liverpool's season in tatters. Good night.
Oh, what a chance for Razia. Touch! Any touch, any touch.